everyone.
What's up, y'all? Kofi Kingston here, and I would love to have a drink with Wrestling on the Rocks, depending on what that drink is, preferably non-alcoholic, you know?
How's it going? The Celtic Warriors, James.
Soda.
I would love to have a drink with Wrestling on the Rocks.
Maple syrup.
Bella.
I would never have a drink with Wrestling on the Rocks.
Welcome to the dive bar of the IWC. Welcome to Wrestling on the Rocks, episode 1. That's right. This is the show where every show is our first show. We don't get to episode 2 until we get episode 1 done right, and we will not do that. Guys, I'm at Ref Marsh. We're at WOTR, the show. With me today on our easy, like, Sunday evening edition of Thursday Night Chaser is MsAmandaJayne, as always.
Hello. Sundays are weird.
Sundays are real weird. They haven't even been doing pay-per-views on Sundays all year.
I know. Isn't that weird?
It's been really weird. And then with us to have a drink here in the dive bar, we got JustinTime211. What's up, Justin?
What is up? Cheers to the dive bar of the IWC.
Cheers. I'm glad you made it in time.
Ha! Always in time. I'm always in time, on time.
Out of time?
Party time.
The whole time.
Burr, burr, burr.
Up in time. Oh, it's been a really busy week.
You could be the fourth member of the Motor City Time Splitters.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet.
Yeah, that's one reason to watch Impact right there. Because I love the Time Splitters as a tag team. So.
I just found out I'm watching Rampage in the corner of my screen, and producer lady was asking me earlier that said she saw a whole bunch of stuff saying that Sonny didn't deserve what Sonny got. And I said, I think it's because they had Sonny join this mediocre and stupid faction. And I'm watching Rampage, and I realized that's not the case. Sonny's just getting the absolute shit kicked out of him by Parker Boudreaux in a really bad match. That's really fucked up.
It is really fucked up. I mean...
It's fucked up because they just joined Parker on Wednesday.
Yeah, and not only that, but Sonny Kiss, everyone was expecting some really great things from Sonny Kiss.
Yeah.
But no.
Wow. Yeah,
Tony's
what
house.
A bummer.
It's not Swerve's house. So when people say whose house, that answer is not Swerve's house. So obviously it's Tony's house, or get the fuck out. So
it's Tony's sandbox.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we'll get to all that. We'll talk about it. But I just saw it and I had to address it because I couldn't believe what I was seeing. What a short-lived, like, fucking Christ. Why do it? Why do it? But we'll talk about that. Let's talk about a little bit of the easy stuff on top. What's in your glass? Ladies first. MsAmandaJayne, what's in your glass? What are you drinking there?
Well, I think I've uncovered one of the, wonders of the world, because I was able to preserve my sponsored, not sponsored, which is in here. You can't really see it. Maybe you can't. Oh, no, can't see it. Sorry. But I mixed the cranberry slush with the Cutwater rum tiki Mai Tai. And let me tell you. Ooh.
It worked out.
Mm-hmm.
All right. It's not bad. Not bad at all.
Yeah. So it basically makes up for not being able to find those Sonic,
seltzers?
Yeah, this is much better. More alcohol.
Yeah, I went so far as when I had those seltzers to actually add food coloring myself, because I didn't like that they were all clear.
I remember you did that on episode 1.
Yeah.
You do it with a blue one, right?
A blue one and a red one.
Really
okay. Justin, what are you drinking? What do you got there?
We've got Rip-Off Mountain Dew today. It's properly titled Mountain Best, which is pretty good, actually, though.
I forget the Not My Father's brand. They had a Mountain Dew version as well, and it had some sort of weird name like that. Like
Yeah.
Mountain Morning or something.
I remember that.
I'm
So good.
trying to remember the name of the one over here, but there's one that's called Dr. Skipper, which I thought was
Dr. Skipper's good. Dr. Skipper.
Nice.
I'm just having some iced tea with vodka in it. A little something to drink away the week. Wrap it up. It's been crazy. It's been wild. We were trying to do. On Wednesday we did our show. Thursday morning I drove to LA. I was at the WrestleMania pre-sale ticket party in SoFi Stadium, and I was backstage the whole time. It was crazy. It was insane. I didn't think I was going to be allowed to do that, and they never kicked me out. And I talked to a ton of people and took very little photos because I was nervous. It seemed too much like a mark. So I got like 5 photos and had an amazing time.
But people are using your photos. You know, some dirt sheets were using your photos, right?
Really? Did they have some of my photos?
Yeah, like 1 or 2 of them.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
I was like, should we cease and desist you?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Producer lady was on the hunt and found my photos being used by some random people and was like, "These motherfuckers," and I was like, I mean, it's not like a drawing. I just happened to be there with my phone. Like I didn't.
Yeah,
It's
but
not like old days when I used to take my camera around and I had to develop the film and there was an art to it. I'm just pointing my phone at stuff and pushing a button. Like I don't feel as bad about my photos. You know what I mean?
yeah,
but
but we're media, and
We are
other
media.
media like us, and I'm using it in quotes, should respect
That's a good
game,
point. We are
respect
media.
game. That's what I'm saying.
Producer should have went all Aubrey on everybody and just been like, "That is their photos, damn it."
Yeah,
No.
you can be my Aubrey Edwards. We'll call you Dave Phillips online. I mean, if I found out Wrestling Inc. was using my photos and didn't talk to you about it, I'd be pretty pissed. Because I'm like, I work for you guys. The fuck is this? You couldn't at least tell me.
I
But
don't think
other ones, I'm like, they don't know me. They don't know I do that.
Like Sean Ross Sapp maybe used one. I don't know. Don't quote me on that one. I swear I think he did, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Fightful.
See, I was trying to find people who had a bunch of backstage photos because I saw a bunch being taken, and I was trying to find people posting them so I could like find me in the back of a shitload of photos because I was in a lot of things.
Cool.
Yeah. And there was one time, so there was one photo, it was Gabriel Iglesias, and I believe it was with Bianca. They were taking a picture together.
Did you
and
photobomb it?
It was right in front of me, and I realized I might be in the photo. So I stepped to the side to be out of the photo. And then I realized I stepped right into the frame, and I could see myself on his thing. And so then I tried to move, and then I thought, he's going to think I'm photobombing him. I have to really not be in this photo. And so then I just ducked, and I like ducked behind him. And my brother's like, "What are you doing?" I'm not moving. And I was like, "Yeah, but it looked a lot like I was trying to be in the photo. I have to now go out of my way to be out of that photo." But at the same time, I was talking to him so much, he probably would have laughed if he thought I was trying to photobomb him anyways.
But you had his shirt on though, so
I was wearing his shirt, and that...
so it would have been
was
okay. I mean, there's like some random dude back there. Yeah.
Yeah, they would have thought I was just part of his crew or something.
Yeah,
He came up to
something.
me when he saw me because I was wearing his shirt, and he like grabbed the sleeve and felt it, and he goes, "All right, it's real." And I was
You're like, no, I bought it. I
Yeah.
bought it, in the parking
Yeah.
lot.
I made this.
Mhm.
Handmade. But it was really cool. It was a really good time, and it was awesome. And then I turned around, and the next morning, Friday morning, because we were trying to figure out when are we going to do this show, right? We wanted to have our Thursday night chaser, and I thought about staying like an extra day and maybe just recording from out there, but I was like, no, fuck it, I got to come back. I got some work on Saturday. So I hightail it back on Friday. I'm making really good time. I'm going to be home by 4:30. It's going to be great. And my car breaks down, and I'm stuck. I'm stuck at exit 1 of Arizona for like 3 hours just trying to figure out what is my next move. Turns out Geico, roadside assistance, is not as all-encompassing as you might think. They will tow you for up to 87 miles.
That damn
Free.
gecko.
And then $10 a mile after that. Like,
What
what the
the
fuck? So they're all like, it's only going to be like $1,000 to tow you home. And also like, all right, well, thanks, I'm not doing that. They're like, well, what are you going to do? I was like, not that. Like, you're fuck off. I will figure it out. But yeah, I did some things. I found a mechanic. We tried to basically, we threw on a patch and had a nice prayer. We anointed it with oil, prayed over it, laid hands on the car and said, Please just get me the fuck home. And it did. It got me home. I had to drive 55 on the highway the whole way. As soon as I got home, a friend of mine was in town from out of town, so I had to go have drinks with them and hang out with them because they were only going to be in town one night. And then the next day, my friend was like, look, I'm staying just a couple more hours. Let's hang out. So the whole next day I was there hanging a little bit. Then I had to work that next day, that same evening. So I didn't get to watch a lot of these shows till today.
Oh.
Yeah, because you were all like, we were talking about doing it yesterday, but yesterday was like I was on the mountain, I was working, I was doing stuff, and I was like, fuck, I just want to watch these shows and talk about it and move on. But, but here we are. We've made it. We're together. The car turns on, but still not working. I'm going to get it work done this week, but at least we're all here. It's made for that's one of the reasons why we weren't able to go on earlier. I had to watch the shows, but then I had to try and get the car to turn on. It wouldn't even turn on. So I had to work on the car for a little bit, and I'm not a car guy. You could probably tell by my clearly soft hands. I keep them very soft. I keep them small. What? What? The last thing I want is like a lumberjack having at me like a garden, like a lawnmower. You know what I mean? Small, soft hands is the key.
Okay. So, I guess you will not be having a career in automotive services.
Yes,
anytime.
I will not be a grease monkey. Although
Seriously.
I did tell people that I was the computer grease monkey because of all the work I did in IT. I was like, look, I'm just a computer grease monkey. I just get in there, turn screws, and replace circuits.
No.
Hmm?
It's not the same.
That's what a grease monkey is for a car. All they're doing is just tugging hoses, squirting liquids. What?
Oh God! If any of you people are a grease monkey, can you tell us what you do?
Mm-hmm.
No.
That's exactly how I describe all mechanics.
Okay.
What?
Interesting.
Stop.
What?
Don't describe it.
Interesting.
That's not your aviation. You can fix a plane. You can't change a tire. There is a difference.
Yeah, you can change a tire on a plane.
She can change a tire on a plane. She cannot change a tire on a car.
I have it. I just have it.
We got a flat once, and she was all, and I was like, oh, do you want to help me with this tire? She goes, I've never done that. And I was like, you change tires on planes all the time. You can do this. And she's like, she goes, it's not the same. And I was like, it's just smaller. She says, way different. And
Totally different.
No.
she stared at me the whole time, doing very little to help
You
me.
wouldn't let me do it.
No, I wouldn't
Well,
let you. You were
Yeah.
like, ugh.
Like there's no jack.
But
Something I do all the time.
That's the starter.
yeah, that's true. There's no
Right.
jack. There's no
Yeah,
jack.
I don't know. That's
There is
as
a
far as
Rosie. We can do it. But let's talk wrestling. That's why we're here. That's why we're drinking. But I want to give people a little bit of a rundown of some of the crazy stuff. I did see a bunch of NXT people there. Notably, I talked to Santos for a little bit, and his perspective on the Tony D storyline made me appreciate the Tony D storyline even more. He's so proud of it, and he's so happy with it, and he thinks there's such a chemistry there that it made me appreciate everything they're doing so much deeper than I already appreciated it. And then the other thing I got to see, I don't want to say too many details about it just because I don't want, like, I don't know if people are gonna like try and poke, like they never do, but I don't want someone to
hey, you know,
But something I did see backstage I saw a lot was Roxanne, and her being so new to the company, to be at something like that you would think wouldn't be much, but you could just see it in her eyes that she was soaking it all in. She was like, at a certain point she was doing some things where you could tell she was just like trying to keep cool. Like, she's still such a fan, but she's doing this, and if I'm sitting there thinking, man, do you remember where she was last year and that she's here now? Then there's no way it's lost on her either. And you could see it in her eyes. You could see it in her interactions. She was so happy to be there and so excited and just soaking it in. It was just awesome to watch and to see that, and just made me like her even more. It was one of my favorite parts of it. Yeah.
awesome.
It was definitely one of my favorite things that night. But also shout out to Clayton Thomas. He came along with us. He's a comedian online, and we hung out the whole time, and it was just really fucking fun and really cool. And I had not met him, but yeah, we hung out a lot, So yeah, shout out to him for just being a good dude. So give him a follow. CT is dope. You can find him on Instagram, which looks like he's way more active on Instagram than he is on Twitter. But really good dude, really funny. Just want to put him over for a second.
Awesome.
Do you guys want to talk AEW or NXT first? Or you know what? Let's talk birthdays first, Amanda.
Oh yeah. Well, we missed quite a few, but
We'll hit them all.
you know, I guess. Well, this one's kind of controversial, but I mean, he is a big deal. So kind of happy birthday, Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll let you
Hogan's
guys
birthday.
decide how it's yay, nay, or whatever.
Yeah.
Not my the hill to die on that one. So think what you want. Let's see here. The big dude from Impact, Fala Ba, or whatever he's going by now. He's got a birthday. Spike Dudley, Bob Backlund, the master of the chicken wing. Happy birthday.
Yeah. Very
Yep,
good. Very
yep.
good.
I mean, gotta love the guy. Kofi, my man Kofi Kingston. Happy birthday. And then here's one I have questions about now. It's kind of newsworthy. Happy birthday, Johnny Gargano.
Hey.
Happy birthday to
So-
Gargano.
Yeah. So do we think he's going back to the WWE led by Triple H? Because wasn't Triple H very strong on him? Or
Yes. I
Well-
think he is.
Yeah, I want to hear from you. Why do you think he is, Justin?
I mean, he's so used to being like around Triple H. And again, he was one of those people that didn't like the whole going up to the main roster thing. But now that Triple H is in charge, this could be the thing that gets him up there finally. Like, he knows he can trust Triple H. So I think he'll be fine going. I think he'll definitely want to come back, especially because he knows who he's working with at that point.
What do you think, Amanda? Because then I'll tell you my opinion, but I want to hear yours first.
you know, I think that he was really smart in the sense of he took extra time for paternity leave.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of people were Johnny's going to go to AEW, and I never thought he was going to, because I think he was smart enough to see that he wasn't going to fit in that model over there. I mean, most people don't. I'm sure that a lot of people regret that they went to AEW. I'm pretty sure there's like a handful of people I can name off the top of my head.
Yeah.
So I think that that's a huge thing. But I'm really glad that he didn't do that. But before he goes back, if you want a micro bottle of them, you better pick one up. They have 3 limited edition ones right now, because I'm pretty sure he'll probably be going back soon.
Is your Alexa just going off like crazy over there?
Yeah, Alexa's going off like
Yeah, I
crazy.
heard.
He's a bitch.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Plus, he was also doing his Twitch thing too, which was good.
Yeah. I feel like Alexa's just reading us a book at this point.
It feels like she is, but
Yeah.
my Alexa turned off because for some reason, I don't know, someone tried to hack into my Wi-Fi. I mean, my Wi-Fi name, basically was telling it,
Pretty easy. That's weird.
well, it says, it says you can't see me. So you shouldn't be able to see my Wi-Fi.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Hello.
But my thoughts on Johnny is I think that he made a lot of sense in that specific version of NXT. And unless we want to believe that specific version of NXT is going to be a major peek at what we will see on the main roster, then I don't think Gargano really has a place there as it stands now. I think that Gargano was utilized to the best of his abilities on the platform that he could be utilized the best at. I don't know that there was a clamoring for him to be on the main roster in general. Like, I don't see how he fits in there. He really is truly undersized, and he doesn't perform as clean as most of the other talent there. Like, his stuff was super choreographed and not easy to believe most of the time, and I just don't know if that's the case of across the board. I'm not trying to be like mean about it, but his matches were not something that I was particularly interested after a few of them. So I don't think it's impossible, but I think we'd have to see even now a huge shift on what the landscape looks like. Because I don't see you putting him against a Drew McIntyre or a Cross. You know what I mean? Like, are you going to bring back some sort of... Yeah, I mean, Bishop's in the chat says Gargano's best place would be in DIY. I don't know that even DIY is something that I would truly want to explore. I think Ciampa is the best part of that team, and I don't know that you anchor Ciampa to appease Gargano. Ciampa could be believably in a match against a Gunther. I really don't see how Gargano could be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, you got Bobby Lashley with the U.S. title against Gargano or against Ciampa like this week. This is going to be amazing. I mean, it already happened. It was amazing. I don't think you're going to pull off that same match with the Ciampa or with the Gargano.
I think Johnny just fits as an underdog. That's just what he is. So, like, even if he's in the ring with Gunther, again, he's coming off as the underdog. You got this big, towering monster of a man in Gunther, and you're like, well, I'm going to put him in there with Johnny. And then when Johnny starts getting offense in on him, it's like he's fighting from below. Like, that's what Johnny Gargano's always been. The likable underdog guy.
Yeah. I think it would take a lot of work because he also has a hard time selling.
Oh, that's for damn sure. Even I can admit that one.
Yeah. So
especially as a big Johnny Gargano fan, like I can tell he does not sell a lot, and that really is one thing that annoys the shit out of me.
Man, I just keep going back. I forget which match it was. It was like one of those fatal 4-ways or whatever for the NXT title, and someone did a big move on him, and there was going to be like another move on him somewhere else. And so he gets this big move done on him, and he immediately goes onto all fours and crawls really fast to a different corner, and then just like rolled back over onto his back, and then got up and jumped out of the ring for something else. And I was all like, what the fuck is happening? You know what I mean? Like, just, you're trying to do too much. But at the same time, maybe on the main roster, they could slow it all down, and maybe it could be something. I'm not saying there's no place for him. I'm saying I think that it's going to take more than just him showing up to fit well. And Takes does say he doesn't think it's the best place for Ciampa, but it's the best place for Gargano. I can see that. Maybe in the right tag team. And Jeremy and Ty coming through saying cheers, so hello to him as well. Cheers to him. All right, sorry, you can keep going. I think you had more.
Yeah, whenever Big Cass goes under, well, he's having a damn birthday, so happy birthday.
Oh.
Cedric Alexander. The lovely Soraya Knight. Happy birthday. Now, where's she going to go?
I was thinking about that too. You're saying Saray, right?
Soraya.
Oh, yeah, performer Paige. Yeah.
Where's she going to go?
She said something along the lines of her not having an interest in AEW.
Yeah, I don't think she'll go there. Mm-mm.
I don't know what she's going to do.
Well,
Senator?
I know.
Senator?
Baltimore opened the door for her.
If she wants to come back and wrestle, she'd fit well in that knockouts division.
Mm-hmm.
Even if she's not going to wrestle, she could be a really big helping hand for that knockouts division.
Mm-hmm.
That could be.
Yeah.
That could be.
Yeah.
I guess I wouldn't be totally shocked if she popped up in like an NWA.
Mm-hmm.
Nice too.
But,
Was she, when she was in WWE, was she there during Gail Kim's last bit of time there? I don't think so, right?
I don't know.
Oh, God, I don't
think
even
so.
know.
Yeah, I don't
Gail
think
Kim
so.
was before her.
Okay.
I don't remember when Gail Kim's last bit was in WWE.
Yeah.
Because it was kind of around that. I don't know, because I know AJ was on the roster, the main roster, but I don't know if it was like, skipping whatever AJ or or the whole AJ
producer
or
lady said potentially MLW, which they have that big division now too, and I think isn't Taya Valkyrie their champ?
Mm-hmm.
So I could potentially see that, but I also almost feel like she's too big for MLW. But that could be good for them.
Well, she's too big for almost everybody, to be honest.
That's true too. That's a good point.
Even AEW, it's like, no. But it would be great to see her and her mom team again, since her mom still does wrestle. That'd be kind of cool. I've seen her mom before, and she's fucking badass. That's a badass family of peoples. Let me see if I forgot anybody. Oh yes, I'm sorry that our production budget does not allow me to have snow, but happy birthday, Sting.
Oh, yep.
Just imagine snow falling behind me because winter is coming, but it's not because we don't have the budget. So happy birthday, sir. And
they announced the Trios Championship Tournament, people.
They sure did.
All right.
They sure did.
Anyone else?
No, that's it for this week. So happy birthday, y'alls.
All right.
Again, Tony does not know how to put a trio or a tournament together.
No. Yeah, that tournament.
Because, well, I don't know. The bracket seems kind of below your load, but then again, all the teams that are there are already kind of below your load.
Did you want to talk AEW or NXT first?
Either one.
We could probably do AEW because we're already talking about that bracket.
Yeah, we can do that. Cool.
Let me pull up the... There was another Dynamite, too. I think we didn't get to talk about, right? Because there was last... Or not Dynamite, but another Rampage. There was last Rampage and this Rampage. Were either Rampages much of anything?
No.
Dynamite results.
It sucks. Rampage is such a throwaway show. Like, it's no purpose whatsoever.
Not anymore. No.
Yeah, absolutely.
No. It was weird to hear JR doing commentary on it, though.
That is really weird. That sounds really weird.
It was weird. Yeah. I don't know. But at least we didn't have Jericho screaming, so that was a plus.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, that's always the worst part of Rampage.
Everyone's ears has been saved from murderous Jericho commentary.
Yeah.
Yeah. I watched the first hour of Dynamite with the sound off.
Okay.
So I was pleased to miss the Jericho promo, the Miro promo, and the Young Bucks promo. I saw they were doing them, and at no point did I think to myself at all that I should turn up the volume.
The Miro one was pretty good, I thought.
Yeah.
How's his rivalry with God coming along?
This is where it was interesting, actually.
Okay.
He thinks that God is telling him that, something about House of Black. That's his, that's God's will there, apparently.
I am amped for those two to face off. I don't know why. I am so excited to watch those two face off. It's nuts.
Yeah.
He's still
Malachi?
teasing freaking CJ. He's still teasing CJ.
He is, and especially with how he was talking about Julia Hart as well.
Yeah.
That'll be now I'm looking forward to seeing that CJ's that would be her first potential matches against Julia. And that would be amazing to see. Because it's like we've been building up to his woman,
Yeah.
and like, okay, when are we getting it? Because I've had for a while, I was thinking we're not going to get that, right? Yeah. But after this promo again, I'm like, oh yeah, she's coming.
I feel like there's this though. I feel like that there is a certain amount of freedom that Tony gives everyone on the mic, and I think you can tell that's why you see a lot of sinking and not swimming. And I wonder if Miro isn't consistently angling to get his wife a job, and Tony doesn't want her. Because if he wanted to sign her, she'd already be signed.
But
and I wonder if he just keeps saying stuff, so at some point, it's going to be all like, look, this has to pay off, dude. You got to bring her in at some point. You know what I mean? Like, I wonder if it's him just forcing his hand.
I don't know. I
think
mean,
we were going to get her already. I think if Tony wanted her, we would already have her. I think that at this point, Miro's trying to get her in there without Tony wanting her.
Maybe Tony tried to gap it, though, because most of the time he's bringing in so many people that it's just like, maybe I should kind of cool it down a little bit and not immediately bring her in like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or, well, get this. Okay, so use this as an example. So Tony really didn't sign all these ROH people, but yet Josh Woods has had a contract for over a month, but now they've decided to announce him as, Josh Woods, the goods is all elite. I don't have a problem with that because I really like Josh Woods, but I'm like, okay, all right. Because I'm pretty sure there are probably some other ones of Ring of Honor he did sign to that are just kind of undercover under the radar. Maybe, because with women, I mean, a lot of people like to talk shit about what he's put together, and he doesn't have the greatest, track record with a lot of the women he's brought in. So, and it's going to be interesting that if he does something more with like CJ, more so than, okay, when you brought in Ruby Soho or,
he's
all these
also
other
never shown any restraint whatsoever. So I feel like all this speculation on him biding his time and doing a special thing for her versus someone else, and he's just gonna time it out right. He's never shown that with anyone ever. He's got the ability to sign people, and he signs them immediately.
Yeah, well, he could hide it. But the other thought too is that, well, I don't think Miro's probably, gone out and, I don't know. I don't see Miro as someone who is like the majority of the people on that roster who are ass kissers and pretty much get what they want. You just have to fucking brown nose, get the nose dirty.
My other thing
was
he's
using his freedom.
I wonder if it was a test though. Like this whole thing, like him teasing CJ showing up. If it's just a test to see how the crowd's gonna react to her.
I'll be honest. I think you guys are being so fucking nice about what appears to me to be someone going off the rails. You guys are like speculating that there's such a delicate balance, that there's this thought process that runs so deep. And I'm just saying that I've never seen anything from anyone involved that would even insinuate that they're capable of such a thing.
Because they want that.
And I think there's a real big part of that with the fandom. What was that quote you were saying earlier today? It was from Santa Claus.
Yeah,
seeing isn't believing, believing is seeing. It's the idea that you don't see something and then buy into it. I feel like most people watch AEW wanting to believe already, so they see what they want to see. And I feel like, without trying to talk smack on you guys, I love you guys. I feel like you guys are giving Tony so much credit that he's going to be meticulous about bringing in a fucking valet. CJ has never had a good match. She's not a bad wrestler. She's not great. She's not got a single match that you're going to go back and rewatch. You can't remember the last few matches that she even had. She got better with matches with Natty, with Natty's help in the ring with Natty, not with people not Natty. I don't know what that means that she's going to be on the other side. Outside of that, it took her years to get there. She was a valet before. Miro's not teasing that his wife is a badass ass kicker. He's teasing that he's got a hot wife. He's not even teasing that she's going to come in and take the women's title. I'm going to set the stage by taking my title, and then I'll set the stage for my wife to come in, and we'll all have gold. It's not even trying to do it. She's a valet. And I think that you guys are giving a ton of credit to Miro, trying to just see what people want. I think that this is absolutely based off of no inside information. He's pushing a narrative, so eventually he's got to be like, Tony, I've been talking about it for 3 months. We got to bring her in at least on a deal-by-deal basis. He may not sign her long-term, but he might sign her for a deal-by-deal. Like, what is that? Some of their like dark contracts are by appearances. I wouldn't be surprised if he's just trying to get her on at least one of those, just try to get more money in the house. Like,
yeah.
But I don't see Tony as being in any way ever showing any form of restraint and letting it time out and play out just right. When it comes to bringing in talent, he will bring them in at a stupid battle royal the day after he got them. He's always saying he just makes the calls and brings them in. Even Christian said that his entire thing with Tony, Christian was back, and with under a week of showing up in the Rumble, Tony had called him and offered him a crazy amount of money and said, we want to start you this week. Like, He said it was so fast that WWE didn't have time to negotiate with him. And look how they've used Christian. You know what I mean? You're giving a lot of credit for a valet.
I don't expect them to bring her in to wrestle. I just have her be the valet again.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't have to wrestle. That's
so why
it.
do you got to tease that? Look at all their managers and how shitty they're used. All their other valets. The baddies come and go. I'm saying you guys are giving a lot of credit for what's ostensibly my hot wife valet. What more stage setting do you need? What more crowd teasing do you got to do? They've already done all the teasing they need on her OnlyFans. They know her audience.
Maybe he needs that more of that.
Yes.
Maybe he does. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. You're giving a ton of credit. But
I will take it away on other things, though.
Same.
Let me see. Tony Bishop's in the chat. He says Tony Khan told the Masked Man show that Claudio was signed for a month and was only announced before the pay-per-view because Bryan Daniel got hurt, which is true because he signed him to be on Ring of Honor. They didn't sign him for AEW. Bryan Daniel got hurt and they were in a bind. But that was also Claudio had a ton of time. He was nowhere near being in a conversation. Bishop says Lana table count. I counted first. And Jeremy Time says, now, Marsh, you know Tony is all about long-term storytelling. Yep, the power of friendship. Every story he tells is the power of friendship.
Look how long it took to get fucking Ricky Starks, like, finally a big damn push. Let's go there.
We'll see. We'll see if this is a big damn push. I feel like that it's all teetering on crushing him in the end. I don't think Ricky's coming out on top on this.
No, probably not either. But
it did take this long to even get him in a notable story.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of it's to put over Hobbs, which I don't hate, but I don't love for Ricky.
Well,
but I thought it was pretty cool. I thought a lot of the stuff that was involving them was good this week.
Yeah. But you got to admit, like, I already knew before watching that match with him and Aaron Solo that was going to be fucking great. And that finisher, that timing was like impeccable. Like I don't see anybody really having that kind of timing without it looking like a botch. But that shit worked out so well. I was like, yeah, I saw that. And this was I've seen shit like that. And this was way before anyone was ever interested in people. So it always pisses me off when I see shit like that. And I'm like, oh, why don't people listen?
Yeah. No, they were awesome together. I expected them to also. I didn't realize they were having a match. I remember that stupid little promo they had last week. But yeah, they threw it in there. When I saw it, I was actually more excited for that than the main event in every way.
Yeah.
I was like, it's gonna be...
Oh, yeah. And I really like the fact that this was one of the times where you saw a little bit more restraint and let's not bring in everybody's faction to attack somebody all at once during the match. Yeah. So, yay, Paul Turner. For actually being probably one of the only people who controls people in the ring.
Yeah, and that could have also just been the way those guys were laying out the match.
Yeah, could be too. It could be. But again, I mean, isn't that what you want people to, how you want people to shine who are, not as well known as, like, let's just say, like, I don't know, like a Moxley or whatever. I think that they right now are giving too much to Danhausen, and the guy sucks clearly in the ring. I mean, shit, I don't know what's worse, him or Orange Cassidy. At least Orange Cassidy is talented. He does some cool shit.
Danhausen does absolutely fucking nothing.
I don't get. I'm like, what the fuck? Okay.
I legit do not understand the appeal to Danhausen at all. Now, I've seen so many people say this Danhausen is great, and I'm just like, well, I'm not seeing a fucking thing here.
Yeah, that match was not very good. I didn't like the Orange Cassidy match. Was it on Rampage with Arya Daivari? I thought that was terrible.
That was awful. Poor Arya Daivari. You're in your home crowd. That's your home crowd. And people he's I thought he is a pretty good wrestler. I always thought that before and, now. And I'm like, dude. That was just no. And I was like, the Trustbusters. What the hell is this gay ass kind of these funky factions you're putting in? You still kind of have the wingmen there, and you kind of I don't understand.
You know, yeah, I think that what's weird about one of the weirdest things about Danhausen is that all the things that brought him to the dance, they're not letting him do. You know what I mean? Like, he's doing a lot of the paint and the voice and the hand gestures, but when it comes down to the teeth, the dancing, all that stuff, yeah, it's
teeth. I
none
don't
of
think
his stuff.
knows what the teeth are or understands what the teeth are. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, I was in the
Other
same
than he's got
episode.
it on his, you know what I mean?
So Parker beat the shit out of Sonny Kiss, and then at the end of the night, Sonny Kiss joins Parker Budo. So it was all like, that's not okay. I guess we'll talk about that in a bit.
I don't know. I just think it's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Justin, what did you think of the Ricky Starks match, though? We didn't get your take on it.
Honestly, as much as I don't give a damn about the factory, I thought it was a solid match because I love me some Ricky Starks. More of Ricky on television. Like, I don't know what this is gonna, like you keep saying, I don't know how good this is gonna come out at the end for Ricky, but
yeah,
I'm taking whatever time we get him on television, and I'm gonna love every second of it because more Ricky on TV.
Yeah. Ricky, I could see being functional in WWE more so than Gargano. Gargano also does really bad comedy. Like, really bad. Like, he was literally unwatchable during the pandemic for me.
don't talk to
Everything
me
he
about
did,
the way. Oh God, the way.
the way
I just got
almost
it out.
ruined everyone in it. You know, I'm literally not excited about the fact that they did a whole secret angle about the entrance of Dexter Lumis into the Raw division because of the way and the way alone. They did such horrible shit with that character for so long that when I saw him, I was like, oh no. What are we getting? Do they think he's funny? I think he's going to be a good, funny little joke now. Like, I'm excited about the idea that, hey, we might be seeing something new and fresh, and what a cool way to do that. But the idea that it was Dexter, I was like, oh, fuck.
I think we're getting TNA Dexter Lumis when he was Sam Shaw. I think we're getting Stalker Dexter Lumis, which would be great.
Yeah.
That could be good. Did he talk in TNA?
Yes.
Okay, because I would think that he's going to need to do that. Because with
Yes.
all these, because they're posing a shitload of questions, and I saw a bunch of people being like, oh, I hope it's this great story where he's mad about being released and he's taking revenge on people who he feels is XYZ, and maybe he'll join up with some more people who are released, and what I was just like, maybe, or he doesn't talk. Like, he hasn't talked in fucking 3 years. I don't know his motivation for fucking anything. You know what I mean? And if they keep that up, I'll never know.
He'll draw it out for us, and then we'll know. Not that I don't have a problem with that because I thought the art was pretty cool. But
That's true. Yeah, he'll just do caricatures.
yeah, maybe that's it. Just don't bring. No offense, Indy. Don't bring her up there. Don't do
I don't want
that.
Indy anywhere near Dexter. I don't want Indy anywhere near anyone from the way. Because I think Indy has so much potential to be so good.
Yeah.
And it has taken me a long time to even stomach seeing her on TV. And now that she's finally doing stuff that makes me go like, okay, I'll watch this. The last thing I need is to her to be regressing again. Like, just fucking. Oh God, I just hope to God.
But what if him in theory? What if him in theory mix it up on the main roster now?
If they have fights, yes. If they team, I will not be happy about Theory and Dexter. Bishop says Dexter said I do. Don't discredit his work. What a dick.
Hey.
What a terrible take. What a
Words
terrible
does not
take.
make someone a wordsmith.
Yeah,
I
do not
love-
give me a lot of motivation.
I love that wedding segment still. I know there's people that didn't, but I loved it. That whole speak now or forever hold your peace, and he's just like, you guys want to say something? I got a fucking hatchet. And I'm like, I love it.
Yeah. I couldn't enjoy it because of Gargano. So
I didn't like a moment of it, not even a single second of it. That whole wedding can just shit off out of here.
there you go. You can do an extra one for me because it was shit. No.
I
But,
would
yeah,
say
no,
it was
my-
like watching a wet fart on TV, except wet farts make me laugh. So
Okay, there you go. That's good analogy right there. But no, I really do think that, and this has had me thinking that Tony Khan, I don't know if he, with as regards to Ricky Starks, understands that if he does not do this right, the one person who really kind of champions him is over in WWE with rumors that WrestleMania is going to be pretty big as far as for him, this person. So I think Ricky's going to do Ricky. Anyone who knows him knows that. He even says that. Would he jump to go? Yeah, he would. And he's the kind of person I think that Hunter is like, oh yeah, I can make this guy a fucking star. He's one of those ones that, and I always used to wish that, I know he, Ricky had gone to the Performance Center a few times, but it was like, at the time it was like, there was no spot for him. There was no need for that. But now I think more than ever, because Vince is gone, there is a space for him there. Yeah, a huge space. So Tony Khan better be careful.
I agree.
And I'm surprised already that if Ricky did resign again, that I hope he didn't do it for something long term. But we don't know about contracts, and I don't know about that. So
yeah.
Peptina's in the chat says that it was Ava Rain's birthday too. Actually, Rock's daughter. She's not David.
Oh.
Let me see. But yeah, I did like the Ricky stuff. I liked his video things. I liked that he won. I liked that they're really teasing it. They're trying to make this Hobbs-Ricky Starks match mean something. I liked all that. I just don't trust it in the end. We're going to see a ton of Ricky afterwards, right? Because that's just what it feels like. It feels like we're writing off Ricky. It doesn't feel like we're elevating Ricky. It feels like we're elevating Hobbs.
That's the game plan, I believe.
Yeah. And I'm not against that. I definitely want Hobbs elevated. But I don't want Ricky lost afterwards. But at the same time, this whole program is so disconnected that you could have Ricky just shit his pants and get his ass beat, and then the next week he wins a battle royal and now he's the main event.
You don't want him to shit his pants. Oh my god, dude! He's not Phil. Okay,
he's not going to be. Don't give him
CM Punk's gimmick. That's a good point.
That
is CM Punk's gimmick to shit his pants.
Yes.
Don't give him the old natty gimmick. Come on.
The old natty gimmick.
Which used to just fart.
Wasn't that Natty's gimmick?
That was Natty's gimmick. Yeah. Natty farted, but CM Punk shit his pants.
So did Finn Balor.
One of Ricky's best assets. You don't want to fucking have things coming out.
Taint
no.
the waters.
No. No.
You don't want to poison the waters on the old.
No, you sure don't.
Old ass gimmick.
Yeah, no. Chocolate peaches,
Right,
no thank you.
Bishop says today is Bishop Jr.'s birthday, so happy birthday to the terrible
Happy
wrestling
birthday.
Take Jr.
To Junior.
Here,
Would
I'll
that make
take
him a pawn? Would that be the pawn?
Yeah, actually, wouldn't it?
I
Yeah.
think
Yeah, that would
Bishop
be
is
a
the pawn, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. I hope he has a better birthday than your takes, Bishop.
Oh.
Oh my God.
What does? Okay, I'm curious. What do you do for a child's birthday in Delaware? It's not a joke. I'm just asking because I don't know.
Bounce House, Chuck E. Cheese, maybe.
Chicken runs.
A chicken run. They probably wrestle
I don't know what
pigs.
a chicken-
You know
Oh,
what I mean?
no.
Like, those are the pig runs where you like muddy up the pig and then you got to catch it.
Oh,
You think Bishop is like the Briscoes? Like,
yeah, that's what I was wondering.
Dude, he
Remember
probably
the
is like the
conversation?
Briscoes.
Yeah.
oh my God.
We talked about it on episode 1. Yeah. So does Delaware smell like chickens?
Yes, Delaware has to smell like chickens.
That's
To.
one of my friends said. She swears to God it does.
Yeah, I believe that.
Ow.
Yeah, that's what I was asking. So, what do you get your kid? Like a chicken? Do you get them?
Do you think it's like they just like hide eggs everywhere?
Maybe.
Yeah, I could see that.
I don't know.
Bishop does say that a pawn would be the baby bishop, but he thinks it's fucked up. Amen.
Or do you have a chicken-shaped piñata and you hit it, and then there's like inside, instead of candy, there's like
Eggs.
McNuggets.
Yeah,
And-
Cadbury eggs. Oh, wouldn't that be great if chicken nuggets fell out?
Oh my
That
god.
would be great.
That'd be
Full on
awesome.
fucking
Chicken
nuggets,
nugget.
dude.
Chicken nuggets.
And little sauce packets, so people are scrambling to get the right sauce packet, getting the nuggets off the ground and shit. That would be sick.
And because these would probably, last the Cadbury mini eggs, that are covered with that harder chocolate. Yeah, that'd be fucking great.
Oh,
That
Wow.
would be really good. You could do that. Just get the little saran wrap and individually wrap each chicken nugget in there. Oh, that'd be sick, dude. That'd be sick.
And a box could come out too. That'd be cool.
What do you mean a box?
All about
Like a
that.
full box of 10 piece?
Yeah,
That'd be
but I was thinking more than
crazy.
20.
Well, you're just gonna hit someone in the
Or-
head. Someone's gonna get knocked out if a 10 piece falls.
So,
I was
well,
about to say, the
someone's
kids
gonna
would
get
be
knocked
fighting.
out gathering chicken nuggets because people are gonna go buck wild. Come on.
Yeah, that's why you got to do it one at a time. If you just have 10 packs falling down, people are gonna grab one or
No,
two and be done.
No, there's a random 10-pack.
No, you can't.
That's
do
like
that.
the big
No.
prize.
It
And
makes it
it's
too
supposed to
easy.
be
Bishop really
It
wants-
makes
do you
it
think
too
Bishop
easy.
really wants an all-out brawl at his house?
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Yeah, Bishop's gonna have a bunch of kids running around like the Briscoe brothers, beating the shit out of each other for a third or fourth chicken nugget. One dude's gonna have like a 25 piece because he's gonna scoop them all up, and some kid's gonna have one or two. That's why you can't be having these 10 packs fall down. It just makes it easy.
Okay. Well, then
Delaware
you know what?
10
Get
piece
gift
crab
cards
roll.
then. Get gift cards that are worth like $5 at KFC, $5 for
No,
Popeyes.
just do the nuggets. What do you do? Why are you? I could see biscuits. You could do the KFC biscuits in there as long with chicken nuggets falling out.
No.
Yes.
The biscuits get mushy.
Yeah, of course they do.
No, that's horrible. No. I
It's
just
part
like
of the
the
game,
chicken
man. It's part of the game of the birthday.
sauce packets and chicken nuggets in a
God.
chicken shaped.
Bishop
Yeah.
brings up a good point. Join the chat and derail the show. That is true. Cheers to that. Yeah.
Cheers to that.
You might get 10 minutes on chicken nuggets if you say the right thing. Yeah. Let's
if
see.
you're
Let's
from
go through the show a
Delaware,
little bit more.
Just no.
Yeah.
Just no.
I mean, even Wayne's World said it best. Hey,
Yeah.
we're in Delaware. That's it. That's the quote.
Yep.
The show did open up, though, interestingly enough, Brody King versus Darby Allin in a coffin match. I don't know why we got to a coffin match. I couldn't figure out why it had to be a coffin match other than it's cute because Darby does a coffin drop, not because of anything that makes sense. I didn't love the thumbtacks on the skateboard and slowly and easily and very carefully pretending to move it slightly while Brody was cutting his head with a blade behind it. It looked way soft and did not fit, and it was way obvious as a way to try and get blood. I hated the fact that the match started like that. If it didn't start like that, I would have been like, this is a pretty close to perfect match for these two dudes. It was a really good match otherwise. I loved it. I thought the finish was fantastic. Brody sold that chain choke so fucking well, fighting it, and then all of a sudden, like twitching and then stopping, and then Darby letting go of the chain, and he just fell forward and rolled into the coffin so naturally. In a way where it didn't look like he jumped up and dove in. He made it look like a limp body fell into it, and it fell closed. And I was like, oh my God. You could not just do that with anybody. Like, that was so perfect. And Darby doing it with the chain up on top so he could get the leverage to even do it. So good. It was so fucking good. I just wish they didn't start making it look soft and weird and fake because the rest of it looks so fucking good to me.
Yeah.
But that was my takeaway on it. I don't understand why Brody needed to have face paint, but he did, and it looked cool, so didn't hate it. I was just like, all right, here we go. I guess he's just trying to face paint because Darby does. He goes, I can do it too. You're like, all right, why don't you wear tights also? Like, what the fuck?
Amanda, hasn't he been like face painting himself like though beforehand though?
I thought PWG did. I don't know if I've seen him do it on AEW. Has he?
He's
I
been
think he
doing.
only did that with. He's only done that with House of Black at PWG.
Yeah.
Well, the Kings of the Black Throne. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I would say this. I don't think they needed as much shenanigans with other people. I don't think I brought a lot to the match, but it was fun. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't hate it. But if I were to try and say, hey, perfect match versus not perfect match, I would say drop the corny shit in the beginning, drop about half of the interference, maybe all of the interference, and you would have been fucking solid. I get it, too, though. Like, you got to use Sting somewhere. It was kind of cool. The way he did his face paint was pretty cool. But, yeah, like, you know, it was a little much on the outside stuff, but it was fine otherwise. Justin, what did you think of it? And then we'll get to Amanda, because Amanda's got strong feelings towards Brody King. She can't stand that dude. She's always talking shit on him for no reason. That's not true at all. That's not even slightly true. So, Justin, I want to hear about what you thought of it first, and then we'll go to Amanda so she can have her 20 minutes on Brody being the best.
See, I really enjoyed the whole damn thing. Even with the skateboard stuff, like, just even if Brody bladed and how deep he did and just all the blood he was losing, it was a crazy ass sight to watch. Like, just the way he's bending over and it's just pouring out of his head, and I'm like, oh, yeah. He cut way too deep. But it was just even with all the interference, the whole thing, I love the whole thing. The ending was I laugh out of that, just how he fell in the coffin and then the lid just falls right down on it, and I was just like, I love this. The whole damn thing, like, literally.
Do you think it should have opened the show?
Yeah, it's pretty much the only thing that really would have been a strong opener anyway, really. Because it's like, would you really have started with the interim title thing? No, probably not. Like, it was either that or it was going to start off with the tag match.
Yeah. I think maybe my thought was, well, I guess they were trying to be Quake at the Lake and Game of Thrones and all that shit. So maybe they were trying to make it a stat card. But I felt like this match overshadowed the main event. By the time we got to the main event, a lot of it was not as exciting as it could have been had we not already seen this match. This match took away from the main event.
The first two matches beat the main event completely. Like,
wasn't the second match the Lucha Brothers against Rush and Andrade?
Yes.
Rush. Okay.
Yes. The first two matches of the show were such a strong start to the show that literally everything else following it was like, how the hell are we going to top that?
It's a good point. I'd even say Ricky and Aaron I thought was a stronger match. So it really almost like started hot and petered out as I look at it. Because then we had Jade and Madison, Jericho and Moxie was like okay, but also we'd already seen all the... I think maybe the main event in this match should have been on different shows. You know what I mean? Like, maybe do the coffin match this week instead of having it last week, and do the Quake of the Lake interim match. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is. Whatever. I mean, is it the worst thing if you're Darby and Brody and you overshadowed the main event? Probably not. But if I'm making a show, I saw that one match and was all like, whew, I maybe should turn it off. Like, what are you guys going to do now, you know? What do you think, Amanda? What do you think?
Well, first of all, I totally forgot it was called Quake on the Lake. So what did any of that have to do with earthquakes?
I think it had to do with Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones has something to do with... Wait, where was it?
Their whole Game of Thrones thing is next week.
Yeah, that's next week.
What? The Game of Thrones is next week? I thought Quake on the Lake was... Oh, you're right. House of the Dragon is next week. Fuck.
Yeah. This is just a show called Quake by the Lake. And I'm like,
Yeah,
what
there
the
was
fuck
nothing but
name?
earthquakes. You
Nothing
know?
about earthquakes. Was there a lake? You said Minneapolis, Minnesota?
Yeah.
Is there
Yeah.
lakes in Minnesota?
Isn't it on the Great Lakes?
Is Minnesota by the Great Lakes?
It's up there by,
Yes,
you know,
it's
Michigan. Michigan.
Minneapolis.
I don't know.
I'm looking up Minneapolis Lake. See what
Wisconsin.
comes up.
I remember in Purple Rain, Princess said
Lake
something about some
Harriet.
lake.
Is 0.5 miles away from Minneapolis. Cedar Lake is 0.2. There's a lot of lakes, it looks like, from
But
Minneapolis.
do they have earthquakes there? I'm coming from earthquake capital of the world over here, okay? You
No,
can't
the
tell me
earthquake
earthquake.
is the fight. The fight is the quake.
Well, that was not anything that anyone would feel. That didn't it didn't register on the Richter scale. It was like one of those ones where noobs who like never felt an earthquake, oh my God. And people like me
Yeah.
who like whatever. It didn't even wake me up from my sleep.
I would
wanna go
say that match would not have registered nearly as good as one of my farts on the Richter scale. It was not as strong.
Mm.
And did not have didn't have as clean a finish either.
Which one?
I don't know.
Which one are you talking about? Because I will say this.
Yeah.
Of all the years I've been watching now AEW,
Yeah.
this was the first and only prop that I've ever seen fucking work. That fucking coffin closing when it was supposed to.
Yes. Yeah, that
So,
was crazy.
Fucking
That
cheers
was crazy.
whoever made that coffin. Cheers to Brody for that was like one of the best fucking like sells of a finish to a match that I've seen. It was just
Yes,
perfect. Everything.
Yeah.
And I swear to God, if that coffin didn't drop, I'd be like, God damn it.
Yeah.
Can we not do matches with a gimmick at the end because they always fail? This one did not.
Yeah, for sure. Jeremy in Times in the chat too says match was great, but AEW has done too many coffin matches where I don't want to see another one for a while. Two things on that. Justin, do you tell your brother he's got to like stay in the room while you do? He can sit next to you, you know, right? He's right behind you.
Yeah,
Like,
he can. Yeah.
he can come over and hang. Like that's you've banished him, and it's strange.
Yeah. Dude, it's like you locked him in a cell, like you're in a shark cage. He's like in a shark
You're like,
cage,
look, I'm gonna be on the show. If you want to add anything to it, get in the chat like all the other fucking noobs. Like he's not been on the show before.
Lock him in. No, if I lock him in the freaking shark cage, it'll just be that same one, so he can just sneak out through it like they
Yeah,
did.
you just slip right through it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the problem with them doing so many coffin matches is they don't have a good reason to do them other than it's cute for Darby to do them. That's just not a good reason. The reason the Undertaker did them was because he was the dead man and his literally came out with a mortician. Like he was killing you. And he does the kill you sign and stuff. Darby just goes like, look, I fall like I'm in a coffin. Like it's not that he's killing you, it's that he's dead. You know what I mean? Like, it's different. He falls back like he's just a dead body doing his last resort. What's the only thing a dead body can do is fall backwards, hands on chest.
But when you look at him versus a lot of people who are like, Brody throws him around like a rag doll.
Oh, yeah, it's cool.
That right there, it's like, dude, you look like you're dead weight right there. Just, whoop, 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 whoop,
Yeah.
whoop, you know?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know. Again,
Yeah.
you know, they want to have their niche things, and because there is no Undertaker anymore, they got to capitalize.
That's true.
Because,
yeah.
you know, this is WWE, I don't even want to call it WWE Light. This is like the second coming over here now. So
Second
I'm waiting for some other ridiculous things. But again, if we were to rate that one on the Richter scale, that match, I will say probably was like maybe a 4.2,
Okay.
4.5. You feel something. Even people who've been in it were like, oh, that's kind of serious there.
Yeah. It's a little more than indigestion for sure.
A little bit more. Feel that kind of that
The rumblings.
rolling rumbling. It wasn't a you know, whatever. I think that was the that was the Lucha Brothers and Andrade and
You
Rush.
guys tell me about that one, because I'm going to be honest. I had a hard time getting into the match. I'm kind of over Penta. Them doing all the stuff with the mask. Every time we see Penta now, someone rips his mask off. And I'm just thinking they got to start releasing toys where his mask isn't even part of the head sculpt. It's just a loose thing you can pull off. Like, it's just, they've overdone it with him.
You can't do that.
You might as well. You might as well. They pulled his mask off again, and it was just all over the place. So it's like, I don't know. Also, it was Andrade and Rush, and I know that they're popular and people like them. I wasn't bought in enough to pay close attention, and as I was watching, I had it on my computer screen while I was doing stuff, so it wasn't like I needed to do much more than move my eyes slightly. So I kind of like saw it, didn't listen to it, and I wasn't all that intrigued by most of it. So I want you guys to talk about it, because I have a feeling you guys both loved it a lot more, and that's what I'd rather hear about. So Jeremy does say real quick, even if it was a different shark cage, I'd still have to wait for Tay to figure out how to work the lock and key. He's all like, I'm not fitting between them bars, dude. I'm not getting between them. He's all like, it's cool, Tay. Take your time. They got it mostly anyways. I'll just, whenever you get it. He's like, I'm not running to there anyways, so you might as well take your time. I'm walking. So go ahead, Amanda. You tell me what you thought about the Tornado Tag Team match, Lucha Brothers versus La Facción Ingobernable, Rush and Andrade El Idolo.
Well, I think there's an allure with them because everyone obviously loves LIJ. Most people who I think are the average watcher of New Japan, I think in States, LIJ is probably, well, Bullet Club is Bullet Club, but for the people who are kind of anti-Bullet Club, it's all about LIJ. So I think it's great that they're trying to bring that back, Forbidden Door stuff, which is kind of exciting because, I don't know, I just think that those four are some of the best examples of modern lucha libre right now. I mean, you can't go wrong with that. It does kind of suck that Penta's been getting his mask taken off a lot. I mean, but the guy, because I saw what he looks like before without the mask, he's a good looking man. So, but I'm not saying, oh, let's do that because of that. It's just kind of like, wow. And that was kind of brutal, the tying of the knots, and it was a double knot. And I just was like, Jesus Christ. I mean, I get it, but I mean, and I thought it was great for that in that aspect of them, because that's some of the best lucha libre. I mean, you throw in Dragon Lee. There's another couple of people that I would throw into this name pool, like Bandito. That's one I don't understand why Tony Khan didn't bring back from Ring of Honor, because I think he's like I think he's probably my favorite luchador right now. So,
Flamita, Ray Horace too.
Yep, Horace. Yep, those guys. I mean, why not? I mean, these guys are the best at what they do, and you can tell why. And it just is beautiful thing. I mean, I've seen beautiful things from all of them. So definitely that's a missed opportunity. But I am glad that they're really kind of highlighting Lucha Libre. I just wish that they brought other people in to the fold.
It's definitely some of the most interested I've been in Andrade for a long time. That's for damn sure.
Yeah.
Like,
love
Rush, love Lucha Brothers. Like, I think this was something that Andrade really needed. With his run so far, it's been incredibly lackluster. So pairing him up with Rush, and now you got Dragon Lee in there with them too. Like, this is something that's kind of like revitalized Andrade. And I know Andrade gets a lot of like shit because, there's things he said and done and all that stuff like that. But it's like, and he may have, and to me, I sometimes think he has a really big ego, but it's like, the guy's really good, and having him pair with Rush again is some smart stuff. And again, I think they overplay the whole every time you have a luchador, like mass luchadors feuding against somebody, you always have to go with the removing the mask thing, and it's played out too much. Like, but during this match, I actually enjoyed the whole him legitimately having to unmask himself to make the save. Like, I thought that was awesome. Like, I like that.
That was
Like,
a good
the
turn.
whole separate mask, like the spare mask thing was weird. I didn't really like that too much, but I like the whole, like I said, the whole him having to unmask himself to make the save. The match was just freaking awesome.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And it's funny that this weekend, Penta was at this really random, and I say really random, lucha show in a town where they don't really run much wrestling around here, maybe like 20, 30 minutes from me. And he was doing a signing. And I've seen him when he's done his that they like even at PWG, oh God, those guys are making thousands of dollars hand over fist. And he'll stay there, make sure, he makes sure that everybody, is taken care of. But I just thought that was like really cool and kind of random that he's still doing even these small little no name, no whatever, lucha shows. So it's kind of a cool thing to see that. But I think they really need to, and it's a shame that, whatever happened with like Jack Evans, because obviously him and Angelico, were in Mexico for years and years and were competing against these guys doing that same kind of style, but obviously you have gringos doing it. So, I would like to see more of that style because it's varied, because they've got, like I said, they have some of the best luchadors right now, period. And I think that if, they can be kind of, known for, okay, we've got this in here. This is, where we're relying on that flippy shit. That would be great, and maybe highlight some other kind of styles. Because deathmatch, I'm sorry, I'm just sick of the blood. With Mox, it's like, yay, you're bleeding. Who cares? One day, you're going to be anemic one day. And I can tell you, having blood transfusions is not fun. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, it's just too much.
They definitely overdo it with the blood in general. I know that producer lady, if she comes in and there's just too much bleeding, she just will walk out. It doesn't interest her in the same way. And I get it, for some people, but it's also like sometimes it's just too much too often. We're like, I think I told you guys a week or two ago on episode 1 that Kev was trying to watch some AEW with his kids. And when they heard it was a death match, one of the youngest got really like sad and was like, someone has to die to win. And he didn't like that. He thought it was terrible. And then he like left the room. And then his other kid was like, they're bleeding so much, I don't think it's okay. And so he had to turn it off. He was like, all right, I can't watch this with my kids. Like, then I get it. Maybe that's the idea. Maybe that's the point. That's what people want. Like some people are like, hey, this isn't for kids. Okay, cool. But it also doesn't have to completely exclude them. Like there is a middle ground.
But if you're bleeding because it was something that happened, like you got kicked in the nose and it breaks it, and we see Niagara Falls, that's cool. Yeah. If you're going to go in the corner and you cut yourself too deep, and we saw you go in the corner and cut yourself, no. There's got to be because obviously, like real death match, high GCW, real death match. Yep. You're already knowing you're signing up for blood. I mean, you get it within, some of those bastards even just will break the light tube right there in their knee and get it on, you're like, oh, Jesus. So, yeah, things like that. And seeing someone like a Cardona when he was, king of the death match right there. Yep.
Mm-hmm. King of Deathmatch.
That was some serious shit. And that was kind of where you're like, ooh, hey, this is kind of exciting. When you have people who don't really do it, and then when you have the same guy every week, it's like you can almost time how long into the match he starts bleeding. Mox. Yeah. So now I think that would be a great thing. Do they still do DraftKings? Because if they do, that's a great bet to have. Is when does Moxley, bleed? Is it under the 5-minute mark? Is it over the 5-minute mark?
Because the DraftKings does ones where it's like, how many F5s do you think you see tonight? Like, who do you get? Like, so yeah, if there's like, how many minutes till Mox cuts himself on live TV?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but let's see, Luchasaurus and Anthony Henry. I don't have anything to say about. It was on at one point.
Can we not have Luchasaurus wrestle anymore, please?
And I think they've ruined his character after the stuff with Christian and I mean, you tell me if you see him totally different, Justin. But to me, having him turn on Jungle Boy was so compelling, and then him teaming with Christian felt like a step in a different direction, and then him turning back immediately and going back with Jungle Boy, but then trying to pretend he's still just as tough on his own and stuff. Like, I'm not into it at all. You guys ruined that.
You know, and I like Jungle Boy and I like Luchasaurus, but my God, I don't know what this is. I think they fucked it already, and it really sucks because like I think it was really interesting having him with Christian, but it's like they just put him right back with Jungle Boy as soon as he comes back. It's just we're back with Jurassic Express, and it's like, oh, okay, yeah. Why? Yeah. But it's like I keep getting this weird feeling that he's gonna turn again on Jungle Boy, and I'm like, well, why though? That would just make zero sense.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm not buying it because now you have evil Luchasaurus with good guy Jungle Boy because of the power of friendship, and I'm just so over this power of friendship storytelling that they go through. Like,
well, you see what happens.
It's not
with
for children. Yeah, you tell me it's not for children, but then the story behind it, every single character is, well, by the power of friendship, they shall unite. And you're like, fuck off. Like, can't someone want to do it for money? Like, come on. Like, it's supposed to be a competitive thing. Someone can't just do it for glory, honor, money, like legacy. It's all for friendship.
Do it for your fucking father, dude. Do it for your dad, Jungle Boy.
Do it your goddamn dad. Exactly.
Because he was such a
because of friends. Jeremy in Time says it best: power of friendship overcomes all evil.
No. There's evil.
No. NDAs overcome the power of evil. As far as I can tell.
Well, we can bring that up a little bit more.
We'll talk about that another time.
Yeah.
Speaking of evil, go ahead. Oh. What do you got? What do you got?
And speaking of evil, because evil Uno, is we didn't talk about that Young Bucks segment.
I didn't hear any of it, and I was just really happy. So you guys can talk about it, and I'll find out more about it as you say it.
Okay. Well, pretty much the gist of it was they finally got to apologize to Hangman, and it brought back some great, classic, the actual Elite, and how they were saying that was some of the best times in their lives. I will say this, as some of that time period with those guys, that collective of guys, I think was the best of BTE. I continuously find myself going back and watching old episodes because they were fucking hilarious and they were great. And, you can kind of see in the works of a lot of what was supposed to happen, come into fruition. But it was interesting to me that Hangman said, I kind of, he's got to be there, for the Dark Order, because they were behind his corner and the whole thing, during his stuff, and the Bucks weren't there. So I was a little shocked about that. And then I'm like, fucking A, we're just gonna go back with fucking Kenny. And I'm like, wait a minute, no. That's the mistake right there. It's like, if Kenny's gonna come back, don't put Kenny in this bullshit like here. No. I think Kenny needs to really redeem himself, because he is not the Kenny Omega that I thought we were going to get in this company. He's not even a fourth of it, in my opinion. So I'm hoping that it's someone else that was around that time period. I know everyone's like, and Marty's not going to get there. I'm not talking Marty, actually. I think we might see Flip Gordon, maybe. Because he was the one,
to be honest,
I mean, I could see it, and that would be great.
See Marty too.
I'm not saying Marty.
I don't want to take you down that rabbit hole because I know how you can be, but I do think that might actually be a good way if you're going to do it to protect him. if you brought him in as a singles, he would be so out there. But if you actually brought him in a trios with the Young Bucks in a tournament and get them to the championship, that could put a lot of buffer around him. That could protect him from a lot of the bullshit.
True. Very, very true. I didn't really kind of think of that. I'm just kind of more of the, in general, that name.
Hopes up.
Yeah. And I will tell you this, if he does, I'm going to be fucking through the moon. Yeah. Sad because, they don't come out here and have to try to really pick and choose where I would go to see him wrestle. So, but I think that if it does happen, oh my God. I don't want to say I told you so, people, but I already know that if it does happen, the amount of shit I'm going to get from people. And I'm like, get over it. Okay. Get fucking over it. Get over it. Okay. Look at Dickinson. I'm just bringing this out of the blue, but Chris Dickinson put a statement out the other day, and I know we didn't talk about it, but when I read that, I was like, this is what everybody how they should look at these cases. That, you can't just chastise somebody because of a one-sided thing or whatever, or use it as a witch hunt. Because there are people that were a part of this that are disgusting people. Yeah. And then there's some that...
And if the goal is if the goal is accountability, which should be the goal always, then there has to be an outlet of redemption, however that looks. And I think that, case by case should be looked at. But we've talked about that before. But I do agree the idea with potentially Flip could be cool. I think everyone expects it to be Kenny, which is why I think it would be cool to not use Kenny. Like, why not make a splash and have it be not Kenny? And I do think that if they were to be willing to have that fight or to acknowledge, because they got their own podcast platforms. You know what I mean? Like, you could have Marty come out with the Bucks. And then you can drop Talk is Jericho with Marty the next day. And then you can do the Aubrey Edwards one day after that. Let him get out there and talk about his story and explain his side or his growth or any of those things, his accountability. Allow that be a thing. I think that, like I said, I'm not trying to get anybody's hopes up or anything, because I know that you're very emotional about him for a lot of good reasons. But when you brought up the idea that was what their promo was about, it made me think of all these ways that you could potentially be protecting him if you did it that way. And it would be more interesting than just a Kenny return. Because Kenny returning is cool for that fan base, sure. And seeing him team with the Young Bucks, that'll be cool and fun. And then you get to the Dark Order with Hangman Page against the Young Bucks and Kenny, and story, you're there, sort of. But would it be a big splash? Would it be a big shift? It'd be more of the same. It would be a cool more of the same. So I don't want to discount it either. I do like cool more of the same. That's why I watch so much WWE. A lot of cool more of the same. But yeah, if I wanted to make a splash, if I want to make a statement, if I wanted to say, yo, shit's not the way you think it is here, I might do something bigger than a Kenny. And I think there is something bigger than a Kenny, potentially.
Don't discredit the art of wrestling. Colt would do it too. And I think that the only reason why I would even think, not because those are like two of my favorite people in the world, I think it's because I know that when I talked to Colt about Marty, he was like, oh my God, he's wrestling? Wow. And it wasn't like, oh, he's wrestling. No, I mean, that's someone that, I mean, they're friends. They're pretty good friends. They've known each other a very, very long time. So I think that he would be another one that would get another story out of him too, in a way that, no offense to Aubrey Edwards, no offense to Jericho, in a way that wouldn't feel like it's controversial. You know what I'm saying? Like, in a way that it would be over the top. And then I would, because I'm nosy and I think I would want to try to get it before I would ask him if we could interview him before any of the dirt sheets could.
For sure.
If
And
you could,
I'm,
if,
floor is always open.
the door is
I'm just
open,
saying-
but
Yeah.
I know he listens every once in a while, but if you're listening at this one, I'm being serious, dude, because I think that we would be objective enough, and I don't think that the internet wrestling community's journalists would be as unbiased, because I can even
open
take
to
away
listening.
yeah.
Yeah. A lot of people
could
aren't
take
open to
away
listening,
my
and we're all about the
hat of-
conversation.
Yeah, and I could take away my hat of being pro Marty. I totally can take that away.
Yeah.
Just saying.
But yeah, that would be pretty cool. I
out of that rabbit hole. Okay, sorry.
Yep. When it comes to the TBS championships, Jade Cargill versus Madison Rayne, it was Madison Rayne's debut. Jade Cargill won, and that's the extent of the nicest things I can say about that match. So you can say whatever you'd like, and then we'll talk main event.
Wait, didn't she wrestle Madison Rayne wrestle before? On
I thought she debuted
like a
with
dark
this.
or a
No, she
So-
wrestled on Rampage. She literally had her debut match on Rampage when Jade earlier was like, I'm going to have an open challenge. So whoever wants to step up. And then Madison has her match and she literally went out there and was like, you're going to accept my challenge. And that's how this got made.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
awful.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very much.
I don't know. It was not good. I'm not, but Madison Rayne is, yeah,
She's okay at times.
it's okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
At
she was looking a lot like Angelina Love posts a lot of her recent surgery before some of her recent surgery.
Yeah.
But I think if they really want, I know Tony's, no, I really wish he would, but the only person right now that I think would be credible to beat Jade Cargill would be, he needs to bring in Tessa Blanchard and fucking light that bitch up. Like, if you think you're that bitch, no. That's that bitch. She's really
See,
that bitch.
The problem is if they put her in there with Tessa just dominates her.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah.
make her look like she looks like a pure joke in there with Tessa.
But that's the point, though.
Nah, I'd rather it be Athena at this point.
I don't know.
Like, I
It could have
just
been
can't
Ruby
see them
Soho.
bringing Tessa. I just can't see them bringing Tessa in and then just strapping the rocket pack to her like that.
Yeah. I also think that, so let's say that any of the internet talk about Tessa is remotely true, which I don't know.
Yeah.
But if she is a pill backstage, then you would need her in a stronger locker room. You would need her in a WWE where you'd have stronger, bigger egos that would keep someone in check, right? I think AEW's locker room is a little too volatile in that regard. I think that she would steamroll a bunch of them too. Maybe. But I don't know if any of that's true to begin with. I also think that it's funny that you said the only person credible to take the title off Jade would be anyone, because I don't know that they've built Jade as a credible wrestler at all. I think they've exposed her as bad at what she does. She's exposed as a prop. You know what I mean? Like they put her there for a reason, and it has nothing to do with her ability on the microphone or ability in ring. They literally have said, we've done this because she looks this way, and that is it. And we are sticking to it. And I think every match she has exposes that more and more, which is why I'm not invested in the TBS championship or her and can't fantasy book who they're going to have her lose to, because I don't see what anyone even gains by beating her. It's just a numbers game at that point. Oh, look, you beat this person's streak who never lost. And you go, oh, were they great matches? Not a one. Sorry, yeah, no. Were they
One.
impressive defeats? Nope, not very often, no.
One
I mean,
match.
It's not even Goldberg. Yeah, which one?
The Ty Conti match to me. That was like her only match to me that really, to me, was good. Other than that, I haven't enjoyed a single Jade match at all. And I'm just like, every time I say it, it boggles my mind to say that Jade Cargill's only one good match is out of Ty Conti. Like,
Yeah,
that's nuts.
I tried to be nice.
Yeah. And that's what I mean. Like, you don't need a credible threat. You just need a wrestler. Like, the fact that Jade beat Thunder Rosa is a shame. And it's disgusting. But, you know what I mean?
Deeb,
Like,
the whole thing, yeah. Oh.
yeah, all of it was just awful because it's just she's just exposed as bad all the time. So it's just, for me, it's kind of one of those things where it's like, yeah, I guess that's this weird side project that Tony's working on that I just can't give two shits about. So I just don't, and I move on. So we do have Valet in the chat saying, who's y'all's favorite wrestlers of all time? I'll say Bret Hart. Amanda, go.
I will say Macho Man, Randy Savage.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Justin?
It's the guy that I always say is the greatest of all time, The Undertaker. Easily.
Yeah, I think those are fair. Like, if you just said, hey, you can have the entire collection of all these Bret Hart matches, but you really can't watch much else, I'll be fine. I'll be just fine. I think you can say that with Macho and Undertaker too, like, because there's so much stuff there. I would be like, do I get the video packages that were happening before the matches? I need the vignettes. If I get the vignettes with it, I'm good. Especially with the Undertaker, a lot of those vignettes were sick.
Yeah, and there's no Macho Man without all the pageantry and the glamour and the vignettes and the interviews. There is no.
I got the Macho Man Lost Matches DVD. It's like a 3 DVD set of all the matches they never really televised, and it's hosted by Bailey, and it's fucking awesome.
We'll have to see that because
it's a bunch of them that are even like there's a bunch in like high school gyms.
Oh wow!
What?
Because when the WWE was doing poorly and they were doing like gyms and stuff, and so you see this the crowd is only like a couple feet away from the ring, and it's like it almost looks like GCW shows, and the commentaries pressed up against the side of the ring, and you can see like Bobby Heenan right there, and it's fucking crazy, dude.
That's amazing! Oh my god,
that's awesome.
Because I can say that's like the first time I ever had seen live wrestling. It was at the Cow Palace. It was a WWE event. Long time ago. I'm old as dirt, people. And Macho Man was there, and just the whole pageantry of his entrance was just kind of it was just like his presence was it was amazing. And I mean, I think that for me with wrestling, when it comes down to it, it's really a lot about the character and how well people work their character, and I think that's what does it for me. I don't know. I can see with that with the Undertaker too, with a lot of people, because of his presence. And I say the Undertaker too, and that was another one like, oh, you know,
oh my god.
Bret Hart, same thing.
I don't think people give Bret Hart enough credit about his character work either, because yes, a lot of it was how he is and him taking himself too seriously, but there's a lot of character in that, you know.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Let's talk main event. Main event: Jon Moxley versus the Lionheart, Chris Jericho. I'll give Jericho credit on one thing here. When he hit his head on that turnbuckle. Well, he didn't play Judas, which was nice, but when he hit his head on that turnbuckle corner, I don't think he was cutting himself. I think he actually fucking hit his head on the turnbuckle. And I think it surprised him, and he bled a fucking lot. And the match was not going on much longer after that.
Yeah.
With that in mind, that is the problem with them blading too much. Because if you get a good one like that, your rest of your shit looks fucking phony. You know what I mean? You can't have cartoonish cutting of yourself and digging away all the time, and then have a moment like this, which looked fucking sick and badass and tough. And you go, man, he's a bad motherfucker. And 2 weeks ago, he's sitting out there like, you're like, what are you doing? Quit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can't really do both. Do one or the other. And they may have even given up that turnbuckle with a little blade on it, just so he could hit it and not have to do it himself. You know what I mean? Like, who knows? But it went really well, and it looked really good. And so I'm like, that looks so good and tough. This is exactly why you shouldn't be doing it the other way so much. Takes away from moments like this. This is just another guy bleeding on the show. You know? And that moment could have been badass. Other than that, though, Moxley won, which is probably good. CM Punk came out, which I didn't really care about. I don't know. I sent my match coverage of that one. I thought it was an okay match at best, and some of it was pretty bad. Jericho is very slow and not good at what he used to do, and he should stop fucking doing it.
Did you catch Punk missing his timing too? Like
on everything he did.
How it took Jericho like forever. Like Jericho just standing there with the title waiting for Punk to come out. I went, oh my God, Punk, you are god awful.
His timing was terrible. I don't understand why Punk stands on the corner and flexes like he's known for his muscles. I'm like, fuck off, dude. Like, what are you flexing at the crowd for? Just point. Get out there and point. I see you guys. I'm here for you guys. I'm back. You know, and put your hands up. But the fucking flex, like he's got these impressive arms. You're like, dude.
Makes him look more like a douche, more of a douche canoe than he already is.
That's what I mean. That's exactly what I thought when I saw it. I was like, what a fucking douche flexing his tiny muscles. You're not Brian Cage, dude. It's not an impressive thing. You know what I mean? Hammerstone goes out there and flexes, and you go, God damn.
Damn.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
CM Punk flexes, and you go, so you did a few push-ups. What was that, Justin?
Hammerstone doesn't even need to flex. Do you see the size of that man?
Yeah,
my
fucking.
God.
That's what's crazy. Yeah. When Hammerstone's not flexing, he's swole as fuck. And then when he flexes, it gives you a black eye. Yeah, the muscle just flies out, and you get black eye. You're like, fuck. His muscles are just so big. Yeah. So when CM Punk goes out there with spaghetti arms and then goes like this and a fucking meatball pops up, you go, great, dude, thanks. What are you doing? Just point at me and say you're happy to be here. Oh, great, you did God. 6 push-ups in the back on your way out. Like, fuck.
Probably stubbed his toe again, too, because...
Oh. And I loved how they're like, JR was like, oh, it's surgically repaired foot. I'm like, it was a fucking broken little toe. Get over it.
Fucking bunion. Relax.
I know. And a corn, goddammit. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but I will say, like, Hammerstone, the last time I saw him live, and actually one of the person next to me, when Hammerstone had come out, were like, holy fucking shit. Like, when he was walking out. Because he wasn't wearing how he wears those acid wash jeans sometimes.
Yeah.
He wasn't wearing those. He was wearing, I don't remember what kind of material they were. But his thighs were fucking massive. And he did this one move where he turned his body. And it was like, holy fuck. It was like he had like, it was like, you know, it's like he had like, it was like a bunch of grapes. So you saw these little muscles pop out. And I'm like, holy shit. And I said out loud, I was like, oh my God. I go, I don't ever think I've ever seen someone with thighs like that, right? And he laughed. And then after the match, he came over to me and he was like, we're working on the thighs. He says, obviously, I guess, you know, someone's noticing. So thank you. And I'm like, no problem. Yeah, no. It was just, they were just so massive. Like, I mean, I've seen Brian Cage. Brian Cage has massive fucking thighs. I mean, these were bigger than Brian Cage thighs. That's saying a lot.
Yeah.
Whew. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Hammerstone puts peanut butter on everything he eats, so it's a condiment for him.
It's like chicken nuggets.
Yeah, chicken nuggets dipped in peanut butter. That's how you would do it.
Take the whole box of 20 and just go boom. Oh, done.
Yeah. I don't know. Anything you guys have to say about the main event or CM Punk's return? I really didn't. It was fine.
Well,
they didn't give a shit.
Oh, by the way, they made Aubrey Edwards look like an absolute fucking idiot in this match, like hard.
Mm-hmm. But isn't she?
Like, JR so much so had to say something. He goes, "I'm not a real big fan of the referee just leaving the match to do housekeeping on the outside." He's like, never like that. And then you see her on the outside just like fucking around doing nothing, like moving shit. And then she comes back in and she's got these turnbuckles and she's like walking corner to corner and looking at him like, I don't know how this works anymore. Ooh. And then she just throws him on the ground and turns around and goes, I guess I should fucking do my job, apparently, after 6 minutes. And they're like, Aubrey didn't see any of that shit happening behind her. And I was like, because she looks like a moron. They did it really loudly, really obviously, very often, and they did nothing to distract her. So she's just walking around. It was stupid.
Lord.
She looked like a moron. Couldn't happen to a nicer person. But
She was probably thinking
that was
of
actually
what
the highlight of the match to me. That was the best part of the match to me. So, Amanda, what do you think of the match?
Oh God, she's an awful ref. People who out there who think she's a great ref, what are you smoking? And can someone please, can someone please come and tell me why? Hit me up on Twitter or Instagram if you want to film a little video. Why do you think she is a good ref? Because I don't see it. So I'm asking the public. But I will comment on the Jericho hitting the turnbuckle. I don't think it was bladed. I think the way how he hit it, because you could see the angle when he hit it. Yeah, he hit that one little part, almost that jointy kind of part, which has that big screw. Okay, I'm slaughtering whatever, but there's a big screw in the end of the screw. It doesn't screw into anything. There's just an end of a screw. And that's where I think it hit it and it cut him open.
Yeah.
Because it's a real thick, probably like, I don't know. It's a pretty thick screw, probably about, I say the circumference of maybe a nickel, maybe. So when you have something that's sharp like that, because they're not blunt, I mean, and you're hitting it with force, you're going to pierce something with that. So I think that's where that was. So
yeah, I rewatched it a few times being like, where did he blade? And I was like, he's not holding anything. I was like, I think he just fucking hit his head.
No.
Like, fuck.
Yeah, and it was like right on that part. So if you know what turnbuckles look like, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, it doesn't matter, but it was something sharp that's there that, if you hit it at the right angle and whatever, and I don't do math, so, I couldn't tell you, but the angle of trajectory and all this other shit. But when you hit it hard, you're going to bleed. So, I want to comment on Phil.
Go ahead.
Nobody cares, Phil. Nobody fucking cares. I don't care. Well, we all know I don't care. But honestly, what I think is going to happen, and I'm sorry, spoiler alert, heard it here first. Obviously, All Out, they're going to have that match with him and Moxley. Boring, but you have to do it. So, yeah, he's going to win it. And to be quite honest with you, boring.
Yeah.
What would be next?
Because they're going to do I think, I don't know if I heard or what, but there was a Daniel Bryan and Jericho that I think is coming up next.
Nobody wants that either. Isn't that, but wait, isn't that the Game of Thrones one?
Is that how they're doing it?
All Out.
Is it all? Yeah. I don't know. All I know is boring.
Yeah, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see. I mean, Jericho or not Jericho. Moxley and CM Punk probably won't be half bad, but I'm not like excited for it. Probably
boring.
Better than Danielson and Jericho.
They're both boring. I don't want to see Phil bleed. Okay.
Well, that's true. He's gonna have to.
Useless.
Yeah. It's required.
Did Moxley have a match where he doesn't bleed? Probably not. But it's boring. But this, and I will say this, and I know Tony Khan doesn't do this kind of shit, but this would be the place and the time to do what's right, Tony Khan. Have fucking Cabana walk out when he wins that shit. Let me tell you, that's fucking money right there. You're in Chicago, and then I loved how they kept this weekend putting on the whole CM Punk. It was like 17 years to the day of his last ROH match. I'm like, yeah, can we? I don't know who your social media is, but can we also tell people that in that match he put fucking over Cabana on his exit? Do we remember that? No, but and there was a Matt Hardy clip that they showed on another tweet from that same show in Chicago Ridge. Yeah. So it's like you've got all the tools there. It's about money. That's money. If you want to keep having things in Chicago, that is what you must do. That is the way. Yeah. You don't have to have Cabana win. It's just the principle of the fact. Just let him get his shit in. And if it's a loser leaves, whatever, that's fine. But in the end, people really want that. And I'm just sick of how he caters down to fucking CM Punk. I'm sick of it. You see it in those scrims. It's like, can you put down the coke, Tony? Can you calm your erection? Because you're the only one really into it. You, and then I know 2 other people. But do what's right. Do it. Yeah. I'm sorry, but for someone to dictate, how, this, how people come and go, that's wrong. To have Bill have that power. That's wrong. Especially because you don't let any of your EVPs have that power. If you like
Justin,
Bill,
what do you
I'm
think of the main
sorry.
event?
It was fine for what it was. I generally just didn't give a shit. It's just I'm over Chris Jericho. I'm over the Jericho Appreciation Society. I'm over the never-ending freaking feud between them and the Blackpool Combat Club. Just I could give 2 fucks about CM Punk coming back. Like, it's obvious that Tony's gonna get what he wants and have Punk holding 2 titles, so Chicago can lose their mind because their freaking savior is there. Like, don't give a shit. I could give absolutely no fucks, and I don't, because I don't give a shit. It's just, it's predictable. It's garbage. It's nothing that I give a shit about.
So, Wrestling 101's in the chat says, what matches would you do for All Out? I think that's a really good question. I don't know what I would do apart from Ricky and Hobbs. I would let them do it on a bigger stage, like an All Out. I think you go that
Thunder
route. And I could see Thunder versus Tony. I could see getting to there would be sick. Miro and Malachi, I probably would like on a big stage like that. You have to do Moxley and Punk. But let's say Moxley wasn't your interim champ. Who would you put Punk up against? Not Cole.
Yeah, and for those listening, you know what I did. Yeah, flip Marsh the Bird.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I don't know. I mean, feels like Punk's gone through everybody, that he needed to go through.
I'm interested to see Punk go up against.
How do you book a Punk match at this point and even give a shit, though? Like,
I think that was my biggest problem with him becoming the champ, is it immediately felt deflating. Like, oh, there's no dream matches on the other side of this. You know what I mean? There's nothing I'm excited to see.
That's a war.
There's a bunch that people would probably like. I mean, you got Brian, you got Kenny, you got Cole, but it's like,
Kenny, if you could do Punk and Kenny at All Out, I'd be into that.
But I want the cleaner Kenny Omega. Okay, I want the guy that went up against Okada for like an hour, not once but twice.
I don't care. I'm not saying because I actually think I'm going to like the match. I'd be saying I'd be into the idea that it would be happening. I wouldn't like it either way.
No, because then that would at least be decent wrestling. That's what I'm trying to say.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. Jeremy in Time does say, the fact that Mox and Punk had the nerve to do the Rock Hogan stare down really annoys me. That whole ending segment with them was really weird. You could see Cesaro on the floor pointing at Mox and being like, hey, Punk's right behind you. He's doing all this stuff. And Mox kept like shrugging him off like, I know, leave it. No, I'm trying to be too cool, dude. Leave me alone. I'm trying to be super cool. Like, I'm trying to be like a too cool dude. Like, I'm trying to do like a James Dean coolness. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're getting in the way of my vibe. He kept shrugging him. And then he like slowly stands up and does this fucking like, I'm so fucking, my neck hurts a lot. And then he turns around and just, they stare at each other. I'm like, you guys have literally no bad blood. You're pretending this is this crazy thing, this crazy tension, and there's none. Matter of fact, Moxley, you've said you don't give a shit, you'll beat up your friends. So that means to me, there's no reason to be invested in any feud you had. You're going to beat the shit out of your friends, out of your enemies. There's no difference with you. You can't have a blood feud if your blood can't boil. You're always ready to kill your friends, means your blood can't boil for your enemies. Staring down at anyone, champion or otherwise, is the same. You stare down a fan, I think of it the same exact way as you staring down a champion. You're just always on edge, and that's not as exciting as you think. It's just fine. But if you did Punk and Omega, I think that I would be more excited for the concept of that match than a Moxley match. What other all-out matches might you throw in there?
I mean, probably the Trios tournament final would be here.
Yeah. Who do you want to be in the Trios tournament final?
I mean, I've been talking about it on my show, and I talked about it on somebody else's show. I hope, and as much as it's, kind of, it would be obvious, I hope they go with the story. And I hope it is with Hangman joining the Bucks, where it's Hangman, like, you have the Bucks out there, like, they go out next week, and they don't have, like, they couldn't find anybody, and they go out there 2-on-3, and then just have Hangman go, oh my God, they really do need me, and just have him book it out there to make the save. They get the big ass crowd reaction for Hangman. He comes out, joins the Bucks, and then just you have them go through it, but then you have the final literally be Dark Order versus Young Bucks and Hangman. And honestly, go with the underdog thing. Give the Dark Order the titles, I think, because have it be where Hangman has to decide, where he's standing in the ring going, well, what am I going to do? Like, am I really about to win these titles at the expense of beating my best friends? Or like, and just have him conflicted to the point where it actually costs them the match. Give the Dark Order the titles. Just give the Dark Order something. Like, they've been in such shambles. Give them something.
Yeah. Are there even 3 Dark members?
Yeah. There's 4 left. There's 4 left right now. And clearly it's going to be...
Wait, one of them's a woman, and one of them's a child. Is that not?
No, she's part of Jericho Appreciation Society.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. She's been doing terrible promos over there, but yeah. You're right. So
John Silver,
is that including the child or no?
No, it's John Silver, Alex Reynolds, you got 10, and then you got Evil Uno. You technically have...
Yeah, you could do that.
Also.
Yeah. So yeah, you could do that. Would you prefer that other than going to the Elite with Paige versus the Undisputed Era?
Since, from what I'm seeing, is the whole Cole and O'Reilly not cleared to wrestle thing. But if you're going to go with it, like if this is the bracket at this point, if the bracket goes to it, I say go with the story at the end of it. Yeah. It would just be, it would
those
be...
both have story.
Well, no, if you can't get the Bucks to face, if you can't get Cole and Red Dragon in it, you go with the other story. You have a story where it's like, what a final that would be. Having the Dark Order face Hangman, who's like, I could actually be an inaugural Trios champion, but I have this at the expense of my friends, but do I really want to do that to my best friends kind of thing? And just, again, it could cost them the match and have the Dark Order be the inaugural champions, which I would actually rather prefer than just going, well, because we are introducing new titles, we got to give it to Hangman and the Bucks. Like I would prefer them go with the story and go with the underdog victory.
You know what I really like to see is I'd like to see the tournament go down to that, and then something takes the Dark Order out, and so then Hangman and Young Bucks are just standing there being like, I guess we just get to win, and then Undisputed Era comes in without being in the tournament and wins the titles, and everyone gets pissed.
No, but Adam Cole, baby, everyone loves, so no.
Yeah, they had a whole tournament for a match that had nothing to do with the tournament, and that's what I would love. I would love to watch the whole internet lose their mind.
That'd be the of us getting pissed.
I would be
Yeah,
pissed
just be
there.
us. It'd be just the three of us being like, "What the fuck?" And the rest of it, AEW fans would be like,
Tony.
"Woo!"
We can never have good things.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Tony Khan. No, I mean,
So
I
good.
don't know. I mean, I'd like to think that that's the story, because again, like I always say, that VTE always kind of comes in circles and all of that thing. So that would be great to
Yes.
have the story.
True.
But end of the day,
Wrestling
it's Tony's.
101. It's his toy box. Wrestling 101. So huge shout out for them sticking around for longer than 3 minutes to hear all of that. Says, as long as the fucking Trustbusters don't win, I'm fine with anyone else at this point. Can you guys tell me who the Trustbusters are?
That's Ari Daivari, Slim J, and Parker Bordeaux.
Okay, who the fuck is Slim J?
God.
Okay,
Okay,
that was
we'll
awful.
talk about that in a second. We will get to that. Wrestling 101 is on to something there. Also says, why is UE not in the tournament? Because they're pretending two of them are injured, even though we've seen them fighting. So that either means that they are injured and in physical angles for no reason, and it's irresponsible, or they're not injured and are out for storyline, which leads me to believe we could throw them in the end of the tournament without being in the tournament, and they could win it all, and everyone could lose their fucking minds, and I would love it. So let's do this then. We fantasy booked all out, all day, I call it. Let's finish up on this Rampage thing and talk some NXT. Sonny against Parker. Parker came out, beat the shit out of Sonny. This is the only thing that happened on Rampage that's worth talking about at all. At the end of the night, Ari Daivari was in a match with Orange Cassidy. Orange Cassidy wins in a largely comedic, terrible match. And then Parker comes in and beats the shit out of all of the best friends in a horribly sloppy fashion. And then Sonny comes out to protect Orange Cassidy, and then Sonny joins Parker and Arya and Slim J, apparently called the Trustbusters, in this faction of jobbers from Dark. Here's the thing. I think Parker Bordeaux is a pretty dope dude. I think he's pretty cool, and I think he's got a shitload of potential. I think he's in way over his head right now. I think they're pushing him a lot. They're giving him a ton of wins, and I think that what Parker does is expose how little Tony understands about wrestling. And I say that in that Parker's being booked like Tony thinks is the booking for Brock Lesnar. He thinks this is how you booked Brock Lesnar to be Brock Lesnar. I'll do the same with Parker now, right? But what he's failing to realize is that Brock Lesnar is Brock fucking Lesnar. And when you watch him, you're impressed by everything he does. He also fails to realize Brock Lesnar was trained by Jim Cornette and Danny Davis and OVW in a training class with Randy Orton and John Cena and Shelton Benjamin and a bunch of the fucking greats and Batista, and was surrounded by a bunch of fucking tremendous talent who were elevating each other and super competitive to be the best that they could possibly be. They all wanted to be the standout. That group, every one of them wanted to be the standout. And you go, well, who the fuck is the standout, I guess, right? You had Parker in NXT for a short period of time, and they, all due respect, he seems like a little bit of a slow learner. This isn't coming to him naturally. He's taking time to pick it up, and that's fine. John Cena has famously said he's a very slow learner, that it took him a long time to figure it out and to get to the level he was at. He was physically always there, but his psychology and his ability just was always behind everyone else. So it's not to say that without dedication you can't be one of the greatest in the whole fucking world. But a lot of it came naturally to Brock. It's not coming naturally to Parker, and I think it exposes him. I think what Tony thinks is that Brock Lesnar became Brock Lesnar because he went out there, had explosive matches, and won quickly. And flexed. And then you see Parker do those things without any of the ability that Brock Lesnar just naturally had, where you go, oh my God, this guy moves smoothly. He moves amazingly. He knows how to let everything breathe. Parker's hitting people, running to the camera, and flexing all hard and screaming. He growled on fucking Dynamite in a promo. Like he was just sitting there and there was a mic and he just stands forward and goes, and I was like, you sound like Clump when he sees a sandwich, dude. Relax. You know what I mean? Like it's not intimidating. You're drooling a little.
He sounds like Luchasaurus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's going
Grunting,
off like Luchasaurus. And I think that the potential for Parker is such that you need to protect him when he's not there yet, because I think that he could be a massive John Cena level star down the line. He's definitely not right there now. And I think what they're doing is, and this could sabotage him long run. He could burn out so quick and be in such a bad position that he'll never be able to get past that. That's possible. I don't want that for the guy. Jeremy in Time says, Tony saw 5 2002 Brock Lesnar matches and thought he knew the formula. Exactly. He saw the debut. He saw a couple squashes and said, oh, that's how you do it. That's how you bring him in. It's not a formula. There's a lot behind Brock Lesnar in his physicality that is not here. There was a lot about Brock Lesnar coming out and looking like he didn't give a fuck. He just wants to hurt people that we're not seeing with Parker. We're seeing Parker looking like he wants to do some big moves and flex for the camera. You know what I mean? That natural ability to look like a Stone Cold Killer is not there. You know, he looks crazy, and he looks like a dude I don't want to fight. But he also looks a lot like he's playing wrestler. You know what I mean? And so I think he needs to be protected, and I think putting him with the people they're putting him with is you know,
not going to do it really for him. That's for damn sure.
Yeah.
It's just another jobber faction like the Wingmen.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's tough because, like I said, I really like the dude. I think he's fucking badass. But I was watching these and I was like, oh no, what are we doing?
And Sonny Kiss deserves better.
Yeah.
I mean, he's one of the
Sonny
original
Kiss did
people
not.
that they had brought in, and it's just been so hard to watch. I mean, he made the most. Him and Janela made the most when they were together. They made the best that they could do out of it, and I appreciated that. But I just don't like what's going on with Sonny.
Yeah, I can't make any sense of that whole thing. That just doesn't make sense at all. Yeah, let me just get beaten up and then I'll just help him later on. Like,
I beat me up because I'm afraid maybe he'll beat me up again. No.
maybe because a lot of people want to see Sonny Kiss, but they're like, this is your way to get him on television is teaming with the Trustbusters.
Oh,
like,
God, no.
Shit. That's not a way to get him on television. Just
No.
give me Sonny Kiss on fucking TV.
Yeah. You're hurting, Sonny Kiss's value off TV by doing shit like this, and I'm not cool with that. So,
Yeah.
And then I will say this, of all the merchandise that, AEW sells, I kind of want them to sell the tie-dyed tracksuits. Anyways, I'm just throwing that out there.
That would be funny. Yeah. I wouldn't
That'd be
that
cool.
would be funny.
Yeah, that would be kind of cool. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
That, and I'm still waiting for the other one that I was waiting for that I thought that maybe they were gonna do was I thought we were gonna get like a limited edition run of like airbrushed Powerhouse Hobbs overalls. We didn't.
Yeah.
So I think I'm just gonna go to the source because I know who does those overalls and ask him, he can make me a pair.
Yeah.
That'd be badass. So anyways.
Yeah.
And by the way,
anything else on AEW? Oh, go ahead.
Powerhouse Hobbs. Okay. Tony, the prop department. Okay. That like cheapy, plasticky, fake TV that Hobbs threw, they're real cheap. Those flat screens nowadays. Get some cheap ass one and really like get that breaking in there because that thing just bounced. You could kind of hear it bounce. I want to hear that shit shatter because that guy is a beast, or have him just go, because he's pissed. That would have been fucking great TV, but
Yep. Anything else, Justin?
One other thing, just if for the trios tournament, if it ends up actually just being a lazy way out and it just ends up being Kenny as the tag team, as the partner, I hope to God they don't have Ospreay and Aussie Open win against Death Triangle just to keep the two of them apart. I hope they keep Kenny and Ospreay apart for now. Don't even you don't have to put them in the ring together and keep constantly teasing it. Just keep them apart. Have Death Triangle win.
why the fuck is Ocean Spray even there anyways? Why the fuck? Is this to torture me?
Yeah.
Because I I mean.
Yes, Tony hates you.
I still want to know why
I
Trustbusters are in it. That's my thing.
Richard loves
I'd
it, but
rather
Tony
see
hates you.
Trustbusters. I'd rather see, I'd
They
rather
literally had
see,
a better trio that they could have put in there in fucking Brian Cage's whole freaking trio. Why didn't they put that in there? But no, let's put the Trustbusters in there because apparently we need this jobber faction on our freaking TV. Like, no.
Well, I'd rather see the Trustbusters than Ocean Spray and Aussie Open. I love Aussie Open. Don't get me wrong. Okay, I love everybody on that team except for the leader because he's just a douche canoe. All right, no secret here. Okay, Billy Ocean Spray, you're not the GOAT. No, Jay White beat your ass in the G1, and you're like, oh, no, please. If anything, Tony Khan, do not let the man have the microphone. I don't want to hear him talk about this trios thing. Don't want to hear that at all. Okay, none. Big X. No, the waste of TV, waste of like my ear space. Okay, I'll probably get a migraine, and yeah, but I just don't understand why he's there when there are other people that are in AEW that could be a trio. God damn, why didn't you just put Danhausen and two other like random ass people who think they're funny together and use them instead of Aussie Open? Hell, what about Private Party and maybe one other person? I don't know, the Butcher, the Blade, and then you get some other weird random person. Anybody but Ocean Spray. Because it's like, did you even sign him? Because to me right now, it feels like you signed that motherfucker. And I'm like, oh, God, I don't want to give you money for signing that
if
idiot.
Only Team Taz was still together. There's a trio right there.
Yep, but I digress. I'm not going to go there. That's what I thought was going to happen. I thought that they were going to go into this with these trios.
Ricky Hobbs
and Hook. Them, and then they can implode. They could have been the one and Lee and, Swerve in their glory.
Yeah. Anything else in AEW? You want to talk NXT?
Let's talk NXT because
NXT.
I'm pissed off right
now. NXT.
NXT. Oh yeah, I should also say that the opinions of me and Ocean Spray do not reflect the opinions of Wrestling on the Rocks. That's my disclaimer.
Oh yeah. Let's see. It did open up with Kiana James versus Nikita Lyons. I saw a lot of people talking shit here because Nikita was trying something interesting in the corner where she does kind of that splash and kind of rolls herself out of it. It was a little messy, but she was trying something. I saw a lot of people like trying to give her a ton of shit for it, and also like, maybe she doesn't do it anymore. Maybe next time it's smoother. Like then what? Like, didn't make or break the match. It was just kind of a weird way to get out of a spot, and I mean, the match wasn't like a fucking 5-star classic to begin with. You know what I mean? It wasn't like, hey, we're gonna be talking about this match forever. It was like just an okay match with some women who are learning, and they had one kind of botch in the middle. Kind of good if you think about it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, could have been a lot worse, really.
Yeah, I really like the fact that Nikita Lyons has been of the bigger ladies that have been kind of going in between like NXT, the roster and whatnot, with the exception of, I'm not putting Natty in this category, but like a Tamina. And, I think that Nikita Lyons is probably been one of the, besides Tamina, probably I think one of the best and probably a little bit more talented of the bigger women that have been around. And I think that's good that I think that there's finally there maybe either have a person who understands kind of how to kind of use your bigness, for lack of a better word, or they figured out these are the kind of things that are going to make someone of her size look good and constantly drill those like techniques so it looks good and not kind of funky. That's what I've been noticing. But
I think she's doing really good. I think they're both doing really good. I think Kiana James actually was kind of a standout here too. She did a really good job for somebody we haven't seen much from, you know.
Yeah. And I feel up her name.
Yeah, it wasn't
she needs to
like-
change.
Hmm?
She needs to change her name. I have a problem with her name
Why?
because it just screams porn star to me. Sounds like a
Kiana
porn
James?
star. It sounds like a porn star name.
Yeah, I guess kind of.
Yeah, and I'm like, come on. She's pretty and all, but let's not go down that route.
Yeah. Doesn't have
You
to
know.
be this way.
Doesn't have to be this way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I don't have like a ton to say about the match itself, just because it was fine. It was a fine match, and Nikita got the win, and they both looked good, and there was a botch in the middle, and okay. It's not. This wasn't a massive storytelling thing. It wasn't a blood feud. It wasn't a massive blow off. It was just a couple people learning, and felt okay with that. I know people got a big problem with NXT being developmental and being on national TV at the same time. And I think sometimes I get lost in that too, where I go like, hey, this isn't as clean as that. And then I kind of take a step back and go, well, what happened here? What do we get? We got the same shit you would get in the middle of Raw sometimes back in the day. Two talent you never seen before, having a sloppy match in the middle and moving on because they're trying to learn, and that shit happened. So, yeah, I didn't hate it. It didn't fucking ruin my night. I was okay with it. You know? Do you have anything on it, Justin?
Not really. No, it was an okay match. It was a little sloppy at points, but it was like nothing like really. Like I said, it was like when I talked about it too. It was just like it was an okay match. It was just what it was.
Yeah, no issue with that myself. Let's see, but it did go on the Diamond Mine stuff backstage with Apollo Crews and Roderick Strong and the Creed brothers watching it. What do you guys think of all that stuff? I think they're really trying hard to make me care about Diamond Mine, and it is just not clicking with me.
The most uninterested I've been in Roderick Strong in a long time. He literally does nothing but bitch about everything.
Yeah.
I cannot stand it. I hate it. Like it doesn't matter what Diamond Mine does. Oh, you guys are training? Well, now I'm just gonna start bitching. And I'm just like, Roddy, stop. What the hell? He bitches about everything.
He does come off pretty whiny. He does definitely come off pretty whiny.
They're literally in there watching footage, and just because Apollo Crews is in there, and he just walks in and starts bitching, and I'm like, Roddy, stop! What are you doing? This is Roderick Strong, and I was like, I like Roddy, I really like Roddy, but come on, I can't handle the. Oh, you're watching footage? How could you do that? How dare you do that with somebody?
Yeah. So good. Yeah, but I mean, I was like, okay, and then we're gonna have a match at the end of the night, and I was didn't really care for that much. The Lash Legend stuff I wasn't into. They kept cutting her talking and then cutting away, and Wade Barrett kept getting mad about it, and I didn't care about any of that.
Like, Wade, why are you
I think
getting
she's
mad
pretty
about
good,
it?
But yeah, I think she's pretty good, but it seemed like a pointless thing. I don't know where we're going with that. Except I guess maybe we're bringing back her talk show or something, maybe. Because then she can sit down and really say what's on her mind or some shit.
I didn't get it. I was like, is this really something like if the show would never have progressed if we didn't have this? I'm like, this was just why?
Yeah.
I would have rather heard Roddy bitch and moan a little bit more than that segment. Lesser of two evils.
That's true.
Because at least Roddy bitching and moaning had a purpose.
Yeah.
My thing is, why didn't Malik and Idris just walk away? Why did they have to sit there and listen to her? I don't care if that's the segment. Like, literally, just walk away from her. You don't have to sit there and listen to her talk.
Yeah, what was it, the third time they were just finally like,
okay, we're out of here. Bye.
Why didn't you walk away?
Yeah.
2 segments ago.
What did you think, though? Trick Williams versus Wesley in a rounds match. I was really confused. It seemed like Vic Joseph was confused. They did a whole round with boxing gloves on, inexplicably, I guess is the actual word. But I thought, by the end of it, I thought it was all pretty cool. But I thought that there was a whole lot of, what the fuck are we doing? What is happening? Is this or is this that? Like, they did not do a good job. Because at first when they said this is what the rounds match is going to be, I was like, oh, cool, I get it. This is really cool. They laid out the rules. Then they came out in boxing gloves, and I was like, what? Like, that wasn't talked about. Like, I got real confused real fast, and I was like, oh, wait, do they not know what's going on? Or the commentary doesn't seem to be really clued in. Like, I would have wished that someone could have even, like, just clued them in to pretend something, right? Like, how many times we've heard on commentaries like, oh, I saw this person backstage earlier tonight, and they told me this, that, and the other. And you go, oh, they probably didn't. They were probably told to say this to make sense of this. Couldn't you have said, like, oh, yeah, I ran into Wes Lee backstage, and he was so mad about the Muhammad Ali thing that he dared Trick Williams to keep boxing gloves on for the whole first round to really prove himself. And then you go, oh, okay. At least there's sense here, but, like, it was weird. But I did like it, and I thought it was a cool match, and it was definitely different than what we're used to seeing. Showcased both the guys pretty solidly in a weird way. Amanda, what'd you think of it?
You know, yeah, I that comment about Vic Joseph, yeah, he seemed very, like,
He was lost.
I don't understand. Like, Wade kind of kept it afloat. But Vic Joseph was so confused, and that's what made me started to get confused. Like, oh, well, am I not supposed to see what I'm seeing? I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I liked it. I personally thought that it was going to be more of kind of like that MMA style, where you're going to see, you're going to see some hits, you're going to see a little bit of, mat work, you're going to see a little bit of everything, right? So the boxing gloves kind of threw me off at first, but then I got it. I understood it. Then the taking them off and then putting them back on, and all of that was kind of funky. I enjoyed the match. I'm kind of like, yes, Wesley didn't look like a chump, and it was a great showcase of that whole little engine that could, which they've been kind of trying to do with him. So I was excited about that, and I was hoping that it would lead back to, like, Carmelo getting upset, and we'd see Wesley and Carmelo again. But there's other fish to fry, obviously. So, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I can't tell if Vic Joseph enjoyed it. That I can't tell.
That's hard to say. And I did think it was a really cool, unique kind of way to do a match. And what a perfect thing to use NXT for. Could this match work? Well, let's try it. Like, maybe we see a rounds match later on down the line in, like, a Raw or SmackDown if they think this went well. Or maybe we see another one that's slightly different as they tweak it. You know what I mean? I thought it was cool in that regard. Justin, what'd you think?
I guess I got to be the only different one here because I just didn't enjoy it. I wasn't feeling it. Like, I've seen rounds matches. Like, I know that's how NXT UK does their thing for, like, the Heritage Cup. Like, that's how the matches are contested. But it's like,
oh yeah,
when they started off, like, I wasn't really interested in the feud to begin with. Like, I'm still not into Trick at all. I love Wesley, and I'm happy that at least he's on television, but it was like this whole thing just starts off because Wesley gets punched in the back of the head, and then Trick does this Muhammad Ali thing, and they were just like, well, this is going to make this feud big. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, I'm still not feeling it really as much. Like, and then you get to the match, and it's like the whole first round, like first section of it is a boxing match, and I'm like, oh no, this is not the way you should start this. And then it was like from there, no other round was drawing me into it. It just wasn't working. Like, the whole thing is just like, I get if you're trying to make Trick feel like his own person and not just a lackey to Carmelo, but like he still just feels like Carmelo's lackey.
Yeah, because Carmelo was really heavily involved in his corner.
Yeah.
So he still kind of was doing Carmelo's bidding.
It was just so uninteresting to me. Like, it was poorly executed. Like you had the whole, like when Wes rolled him up and Trick's feet were touching the rope, but the referee counted it anyway. And I was like, oh no, this is just going downhill. I was ready for it to be over. Like I want Wes to stay in contention to be in that North American title scene, but it's like that keeps him around Trick, and that's not something I want to keep seeing. Is this?
That's true. He's got to get past that hurdle for sure, because a lot of it did not make sense. And you're right. I remember thinking that too when I saw the rules. I was like, this is sort of like the Heritage Cup, but maybe not. You know what I mean? I don't know why it had to be called rounds, but yeah.
Like I like the match concept. I love that whole 6 rounds, 3 minutes thing. Like I love that. I love that whole concept of the match, but it was just like this one just poorly executed, really.
As far as sense goes, I felt athleticism wise and what they did psychology wise as far as their moves, like I thought the guys did good, but I thought as far as like trying to make sense round to round, there's a lot of question marks. And like Amanda said, especially with like, no disrespect to Vic Joseph, I think he's one of the best commentators out there right now, if I'm being honest. He's one of my favorites, but he seemed completely in the dark, and that did not help, because he kept going like, I don't know what's happening, and we're like, fuck, you're supposed to be the one to know what's happening. Like,
I felt for him. I'm like, oh god,
that's so bad. That's so bad. Even when the commentator doesn't know what the hell's going on, that's rough.
Yeah, when commentary's all like, I don't know, you tell me.
it's like they didn't share notes with us. I don't know what's going on. Sorry.
I mean, it's not the only time we've seen that, but yeah, it's always bad when you see that. Like I think about the kendo stick match with Bailey and Alexa.
Oh, man.
All night they kept saying that the person who pulls down the kendo stick will be the only one who's allowed to legally use it. And they said it in the kickoff show. They said it in a package before. As they came out to the ring, commentary was saying it. They even flashed the rules on the screen, and it said that the person who brings it can utilize the kendo stick, the person who pulls it down. And they kept saying it through the match over and over again. Oh, man, yeah, you want to be the one to take it down because you're the only one who can legally use it. Then as soon as Bailey brings it down, she throws the stick down. Alexa picks it up, beats the shit out of Bailey with it, and wins. And you're like, why wasn't she disqualified? That's clearly not one of the rules. And even Corey on commentating, he just kind of goes, well, I guess anyone can use it once it's down.
That's the thing about that whole match. It's like, what like logically tells you that the other person can't touch it when the other person brings it down? Like that's what's so screwy about it.
Well, I mean, it could work if you had the ref just going like, no, if you use it, I got to do it. Don't make me have to do this. You know, you know the rules. You didn't bring it down. You can't use that. Like, but it is a weird thing. And then confusion on the commentary table creates a mess in the ring for sure. Jeremy in time says, Vic Joseph says it wasn't a boxing match during the first round. That was entirely just a boxing match. Yeah, he said that. He goes, well, because the rules clearly stated it was not a boxing match. And then if it was a boxing match, then during the second round, they couldn't have just taken them off. And they had a couple takedowns during the first round, too. So it wasn't a boxing match. But it was very confusing because no one was able to explain why they might have both decided to wear gloves for the first round. You know what I mean? Yeah. Especially because no one said it and it wasn't one of the rules, then it seemed like two independent thoughts. You know what I mean? Both people independently thought they would come out in boxing gloves for no reason and then keep them on. And you're like, what the fuck? So definitely not clean going in, but I did like I liked seeing Wesley. The Chase U stuff was okay-ish. I do think that girl, Ariana Grace, I think her name is. No. Ariana Grace was the one who got the black eye. Thea Hale gave her a black eye is what they're saying. I do think there's a ton of potential for Thea Hale. I don't know if being with Chase U is going to be her big ticket. You know? I think whatever's next for her. I look at her like I looked at Madcap Moss. The next thing is probably going to work really well. This thing will be frustrating to watch.
I'm enjoying it though. I like her. I like the Chase U thing. Like, it's something that's funny, but it's getting over like crazy.
Yeah,
and I
it breaks it up.
I love it though. Like I like her because she's got like a hell of a personality right now. And honestly, when she had the match, I thought she did a solid job.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the match I thought actually was pretty good. We can talk about that too. There was something happened in between, but we can talk about that real quick. I thought the match was great between those two.
I was impressed with Ariana too, especially because we haven't seen much from her since she debuted, and it's like this was a time for her to stand out, and she did solid. Like there was just like that one moment during the match where it was like, what the hell are these two doing? Like where she had her by the hand and they were on the ground and they were just like fighting, moving it around the entire time, and I'm like, what are they doing?
Yeah.
Other than that, though, I thought the rest of it was solid.
Yeah. Yeah, and I didn't know what we were going to get because we haven't seen much Ariana, and I think it was the first match we've seen Thea Hale in.
Yeah, it's her first match.
On NXT. She was an indie sensation for a short period of time. But, I mean, I wouldn't say full-on sensation, but she was starting to get a little buzz around her. Much like Sloane Jacobs was Mimi-licious or some shit. She was starting to get, people were starting to notice her and stuff, and I felt like the two of them both were like people I had heard of, and they were starting to do some stuff, and I was like, oh, I maybe should pay attention to them. And then they both got signed by NXT like straight away after that, and I was like, definitely should be paying attention to them. Okay.
A lot of the undercard have been pretty good, honestly. Yes. Like Kiana's been solid. I've been liking Kiana. Yeah. Sloane, I like her. Ariana's got me to like her now. Like Thea's did really good in her debut. Like I thought the women now are like really even on the undercard now are doing really solid work now. So that's good.
Yeah,
I
agree with all that. Go ahead, Amanda.
The Chase University stuff. So, but I mean, I personally, it's like I'm liking watching all of these women. They've been pretty solid. It's been a good, nice crop of talent that's coming through right now, and I'm enjoying seeing that. I just don't enjoy the other bullshit with it.
Yes,
but maybe it's just because I don't like Chase U.
Yeah, I think I have a bias against Chase U. I don't like it.
Yeah.
But if people are digging it, I do think still to this day that Andre Chase's character based off EC3. That's my thought. It's a teachable moment.
Yeah, kind of.
The Carmelo Hayes and Giovanni Vinci stuff, I'm curious about. I'm interested in. I think that could be a banger match.
I am so amped to watch that.
Yeah, it you know, I liked how that was coming about. I really kind of did. I'm interested. I'm really sold. I'm excited to see it, which at first I don't think I really was excited to see it, but now that it was kind of presented in this way, I think I am. I don't know if I don't know how it's going to end up going, because I don't feel that the belt should be off Mello quite yet. But that's just me.
You know what's also interesting too is we think about the amount of times we've said, "Oh, let's go ahead and move Carmelo on. Let's move Solo on. Let's move Cameron Grimes on. Let's get Toxic Attraction back on the main roster." Like, because we kept feeling like the main roster needed spicing up and a little more action and a little something was less predictable and the same kind of, like, we wanted to shake it all up. When you think about the last couple of weeks of Raw and SmackDown, you go, well, I don't know, it's pretty shaken up now. Like, I don't know that, like, if you were to tell me, hey, Carmelo's dropping this title then and moving on to the main roster, I'd be like, I wonder where he's going to fit in. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think he'd have a hard time fitting in. But I don't know where you'd see him right away. Where before you'd be like, oh yeah, you put him right into the IC title picture, put him right into the US title picture, maybe even like go after, you know, this dude or that. But right now it's kind of like, I don't know, he might just be another guy on the roster for a minute, you know?
I think it's time to put Carmelo in the NXT title scene.
I don't know. I mean, honestly, I don't think right now there still isn't a place for Carmelo. And definitely if you brought him in Trick, there definitely is not a place.
Well, they're
kind of like,
you could bring them both up as a tag team though, and keep them out of the singles division for a minute. You could do them as a successful tag team for a minute.
technical difficulties.
Oh, she can't hear us. Take a drink. Yeah.
One good thing about this whole thing, though, is Nathan Frazier's still involved.
Yes.
Which I love that he's still involved in something right now.
Yeah, he's gonna do some really cool shit down the line. You can tell.
I can't wait to watch what he does.
Yeah. I really like that dude. Let me see. She's not quite back yet, so she's still fixing that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think that match is going to be awesome. We go to the Solo thing. Oh yeah, Solo's going to be out for a few weeks. That fucking sucks.
Big time.
I keep wanting Solo to finish up whatever he's doing and just make it to the main roster already, but I don't know what's going on. I thought there was a bit of a weirdness there with him and Cameron Grimes. He said something to Cameron, and Cameron kind of looked at him funny. And I was like, what's the fucking deal here? You know what I mean? Is Cameron going to change up his character again a little bit? Did you catch that weird little vibe?
I think he's still going to end up like with Joe Gacy, honestly. I could see it happening.
Cameron with Gacy?
Yeah, the Joe Gacy's been doing that whole thing where he keeps like talking about Cameron Grimes, that he seems like he's lost and that he's going to be the one to help him go away, like
That's
to help him find his way. And it's like, I could see Grimes doing it, but it would be like weird because what if he's going to like shave himself completely and then it's just going to look so awkward.
Gross. Dude, that'd be so gross.
Oh God, baby faced, literally like smooth Cameron Grimes, anti-caveman. Oh, I'll pass.
Dude, shave off the eyebrows and everything. Just make him smooth as a baby.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you think you put Cameron Grimes with Joe Gacy, Amanda? Shave him up like a baby? Cover him in baby oil?
Not his eyebrows, poor guy.
Yeah,
No,
especially his eyebrows.
that's wrong. That's wrong. But anyways, I kind of am expecting Cameron Grimes to be part of Gacy's little thing, just because of kind of in this current state of Cameron Grimes. I mean, but he's already been like shaved up compared to what he was, so I don't.
That's true.
Yeah, so this is
about
like
as clean as you can handle.
Yeah, about as clean as I can handle without. I don't know who that man is.
Yeah.
Even I thought it was. Yeah, they manscaped him.
He's gonna be smooth.
Yeah, no, but I'm waiting for that. Sorry, folk. I had no audio. Like I couldn't hear anything. To reboot.
I'm sorry. We were just kind of going through stuff.
You're gonna make a segment out of it too. Watch.
Yeah.
Yeah. The rate. No.
Gacy's gonna like him and the rest in GYV are gonna end up waxing him.
Oh, that's horrible! Oh my God, horrible.
Let's see. We did Apollo Crews and Roderick Strong, which was a good match, but I wasn't super like. I didn't care all that much, but it was a good match with two good wrestlers, and I was kind of wondering. I was like, I wonder if Roddy just asked to do this, if he wanted to work with Apollo, or if Apollo wanted to work with Roddy. But
I think it could have been both.
Mm-hmm.
We had that weird thing with Apollo though, where when he was making his way out there though, where they like zoomed in on his eye, making him look like a Terminator, and he just saw himself like he saw the diamond mine just laid out, and I'm like, so what is Apollo Crews' new character? Like, is he literally just a Terminator at this point?
Oh yeah, they did that whole like daydream thing. Like it was weird for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Apollo Crews is a Terminator.
Yeah, he's pretty much Terminator now. What did you think? Because I'm looking at it, the Santos and Tony D thing. That sit down. I've given them a lot of shit on a few of these, and I haven't liked all of these pre-tapes and stuff. This one I liked a lot. I like this one a lot. I thought the back and forth was really cool. The idea of a loser leave town kind of a match. Although I don't think it's truly loser leave town. I think if Santos loses, he leaves NXT. But he leaves the rest of the Legado behind.
I know exactly.
Which makes me think that if Santos wins, he can still leave but take Legado with him.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm kind of torn. And I even told him when I saw him on Thursday, I said, I kind of want you to lose. I'm ready to see you on the big stage. And he appreciated that and said amen to that and stuff. But I do want to see him with Legato going up there. I think, especially with Hit Row being back. Hit Row. Hit Row. Yeah, it's the 03. Now you know. Hit Row.
Oh no, that's something else.
Yeah.
I love it,
Oh,
bro.
3, Merdo, Weros, Caneros.
Wow. That was, yeah.
I didn't see that. What did Swerve say?
Someone asked Producer Lady if he even said anything that was like remotely close.
Mm-mm.
No. Well, Weros Caneros is a hot dog place here in Arizona. So,
That's not the one with the hot dogs with the bacon on it, is it?
yeah, the Sonoran dogs, we call them out here.
Yeah.
That sounds so good.
It's more than just hot dogs with bacon, Justin.
I
You
don't
said
care.
that. I mean, you didn't need to know
Sounds
more. As I'm just saying, is the worst part. You heard hot dog with bacon. You said it sounds so good, but like, there's a lot more to it.
Yeah.
I don't
It's
care
like
what
I
else
was-
the rest is. Sounds
When I
good.
was in Alaska, I saw a friend of mine, and also like Arby's has this new Jurassic sandwich that's from the dinosaurs. It's based off the dinosaurs. It's like, but they're calling it like Jurassic. And he goes, oh, that sounds so good. I was like, I didn't tell you anything that's on it. All you know is that it's named after a dinosaur.
Hey, you had me still that bacon wrapped hot dog. That's all I needed to hear.
But there's two different
what I
styles
like.
of bacon wrapped hot dogs. The Sonoran style, what's on the Sonoran one?
They put every fucking thing on a Sonoran dog. Let me pull it up for you because it's in a special kind of bun. They make it fresh in the thing. Sonoran hot dog.
Diggity dog.
Yeah, I mean, you might as well just Google it and look at it. But like, it's a bacon wrapped hot dog. It's got what the fuck? I pulled it up and this fucking site goes layer of schmear. Fuck off. But it's got warm fried beans on the bottom. Each roll followed by bacon wrapped hot dog top, avocados, tomatoes, onions, jalapenos, drizzle of zesty mayo, and usually garnished with cilantro leaves and hot sauce. But the bun is an in-house made roll that it's in. Sounds like a hot dog bun. So
And
Yep,
the
I'm sorry.
other bacon wrapped hot dog is a street food. I've seen it in LA and I've seen it kind of up and down California where it's a bacon wrapped hot dog and they grill and they sell these outside on the street. So it's a street food technically. Regular hot dog bun. They have the bacon wrapped hot dog, and then there's on the grill, they have like green bell peppers, onions, and some stuff that they grill up, throw it on there. And that's the other bacon wrapped hot dog.
Sounds
Yeah.
fantastic.
Which I will say that is great. I've had
so Justin,
plenty
you
in
should
my
come
time.
visit. Come
Sounds
visit. We'll get you
good.
some hot dogs.
Sweet.
PWG.
Yeah.
Well, actually, wait. No, they used to do it in front of Reseda. And I'm really sad now that I haven't been to PWG since pre-pandemic and our bar closed. I don't know where to go to the bathroom now. So, but I liked having the bar because it was air conditioned and we'd sit there all day. So, chairs in place.
But yeah, Santos and Tony D, I like that program. I like the concept. I'm actually really excited for this match. Talking to Santos about the program specifically and how much it meant to him and how much he was invested in it makes me even more excited. He told me more than once that he's very excited for this match on Tuesday. He can't wait to do it. So seeing someone that amped up about their own match coming up, I was like, oh shit. It's not like, oh yeah, we'll do it. It'll be good. He was just like, he kept like looking at me like, I can't wait. Like to be able to finish this story, you know, like fucking cool.
And he knows the huge supporters of them. I'm so jealous that you got to talk to him about this match.
Yeah, he was
So
just standing
jealous.
around, and I was like, not gonna say anything because he wasn't like super like, he wasn't rude or anything, but he wasn't like, hey, come chat. He was just
Come
like
over to
standing
me.
around. He
Yeah.
was like practicing stuff, and at a certain point, he was just standing there, kind of like looking around. I was just like, fuck, I'm gonna walk over there. And it was like, hey, dude. But,
Sure, big fans. We're big fans.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Hey,
Hell
either
yeah.
way, we have the possibility of getting Legato on main roster, so
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
I'm excited. They're beyond ready for it. I mean, either way, it's
Mm-hmm.
win-win. Either way, I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know.
I like Katana and Kaden as tag champions. They're doing their thing in the backstage segment. That was fine. I'm into it. Keep it moving. Anything about them you want to say about? No. Oh, the Tiffany Stratton thing was pretty cool. Wendy Chu. Go ahead, Amanda.
I love evil Wendy Chu. I know a lot of people really wanted her to come out as
Mei Ying.
Yeah. No, that's not happening yet. That's way too dark for Wendy to go into, like, jump into that. But this evil Wendy wearing a black onesie, loving it.
I still hope
So I guess
she goes there though with it. I hope she does. Be really awesome.
Yeah, I think that having the dark Wendy Chu with the dark onesie, I wish that they weren't bunnies on the feet. It was something else that was kind of evil.
Like
I don't
bears.
know. No bears or ducks or something, you know.
Ducks
That'd been
evil.
cool.
What was that? What do you mean? What?
I was about to say, wait, ducks are evil?
Ducks are
Wait.
not evil. The fuck are you talking about?
Well, I'm trying to think of evil, like, slipper things they have. Like, I don't know.
Seagulls are more evil
Like
than
sharks
ducks.
are more evil than ducks. Why'd you go ducks?
I don't know. I forgot they have shark slippers. Okay, so sharks. Okay. Right. I think I got scarred from Shark Week, AEW Shark Week.
So how the fuck did ducks come into fruition then?
I don't know.
Apparently the ugly
Yeah,
duckling
we were
was
talking before that.
Well, the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim. Evil.
I don't know. We haven't seen the rest in a little bit.
Evil. That's evil.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is evil. They won a Stanley Cup before my team has. So, anyways.
No, that's true.
Yeah.
So
Evil.
yeah, that'll be good.
Evil ducks.
Chu versus Tiffany.
Yeah.
I
I wanted her slushie to be alcoholic like mine. That'd be great.
Yeah, we don't know that it's not. We know everyone else in AEW is drinking. Why can't NXT drink? Take says
True.
slippers like the Iron Sheik's boots. Yeah, have slippers that have the fucking little point on them.
Yeah, but that's not evil, though. That's not evil.
That's evil. That is evil.
No.
Yep.
That's actually being kind of racist, actually. Let's go there.
No,
But
it's evil pointy
the only
shoes.
people who wear
Everyone knows
shoes like that are, like, genies and, Middle Eastern people.
You're
Okay?
saying
No.
Wendy can't grant wishes?
No. I'm not
Alright,
saying
well,
that.
I don't know the
It doesn't
ins and
match
outs
the
of-
onesie.
All right.
You don't
But
wanna
if you
see
have
her
shark
be
slippers,
female-
okay, I'll agree. Sharks.
You don't want to see her be
Maybe-
a female genie from like Aladdin? Like,
No.
Yeah.
No.
Mhm.
No. Next thing you're going to be like, oh, she needs to look like Mulan. No.
She does not.
Run away.
That'd be so fucked up.
Producer Lady is wondering, as a side note, if Tiffany Stratton is still going to do the same finishing maneuver, because Raquel's been doing a very, very similar, almost identical move on the main roster.
Not as good.
Maybe
It's
not.
not as clean. I think you'll probably see Raquel do it less than Tiffany do it less, because Raquel's got a different finishing maneuver. She just does that move as, like, that weird spinning off the top thing.
We'll probably see Tiffany doing it.
Yeah, we'll see Tiffany, I think, perfect it, and then Raquel probably will just stop. The Blade and Inofi match against Pretty Deadly, I didn't pay any attention to, so you guys can tell me if you watched it.
No.
Much to it.
Yeah, sorry.
I
I,
hate
think they're
Pretty
all four
Deadly,
good.
so-
I'm gonna be honest. I think they're all good, but I just didn't watch it.
Mhm.
And then we get Cameron Grimes was stopped by security and shown the door. Joe Gacy and the Schism are right there to ask where he's going. I don't remember Cameron Grimes being thrown out, but that sounds fucking dope. We'll see where that goes.
Yeah.
We were talking about that a little bit. Back there, Jason James records drinking Gigi, Paulo, whatever. That's all a bunch of...
That Toxic
Self
Attraction vignette was really good.
Was it?
Yeah, I really like the fact that because now that they're still they didn't break them up or anything like that, but there's a new chapter for them, so it gave them more purpose, which I'm like, yeah, please don't break them up. I mean, they're sucking at me. I love them.
Yeah.
as
Yeah,
a
I'm
duo.
waiting just for Mandy to drop the title so they can all show up on the main roster and wreak havoc. Especially now that you have Bailey and her two. You've already got Bianca teaming up with Alexa and Asuka. I'm not saying we need a trios women's championship, but you are having factions that could start teaming up to maybe make Summer or Survivor Series very interesting. I do think, as a side note, we're going to talk about on episode 1 on Wednesday as we get closer to SummerSlam or Survivor Series. I mean, I'm going to talk with Kevlar about it a little bit, but I think that there's a good chance we do not get a brand versus brand Survivor Series for the first time in a long time, because I think Triple H knows that that's a tired bit that doesn't mean anything. So with that in mind, the idea of fantasy booking, we already have Bailey, Io, Dakota against Bianca, Alexa, and Asuka at Clash of the Castle. They use alliteration so goddamn much. Makes it tough on me what I've been drinking. That you could get to a Survivor Series where you have like a Toxic Attraction and Bailey's crew against 6 other women. So you could have Bianca, Alexa, Asuka, and fucking throw together 3 more badass babyface women. I'm sure we could get some together, you know? Put Zelina
feel
and Carmella over there. I don't give a shit.
do you feel that Sasha is gonna come back? Or those two are gonna come
I
back?
feel like Sasha and Naomi are coming back at Clash of the Castle when they do this is my thought, when they do the crowning of the new women's tag team champions I believe they're ending it there, and you have them, you know, oh, we did it, we won the tournament. I think then all of a sudden it's boss time.
That's crazy. Then. So that means I think that's weird. Then how the hell is that going to work?
What do you mean?
Especially if Alexa and Asuka are in, and Io and Dakota are in there, are in the tournament. How does that work then? Especially if they're having this.
Maybe they're not having the finals there. The finals got to be after there.
Yeah, I would think it'd be more likely going to happen on TV than at a pay-per-view at this.
Yeah, it's going to have to. You're right. No. I have my timelines all messed up. That's a really good point. 2 of the tag teams that are actively in it have a match booked for Clash. Probably not going to be finals there. Especially because I think the finals are going to have Dakota and Io. I would probably do it too, where the finals like Dakota, Io against like Nikita, Zoe, to really push NXT as a threat, and to get the TV audience to see Nikita and Zoe as women to keep an eye on. They might want to watch the other show, right? And then you can. But there's a couple options. We went through that on episode 1 as well, so you know, we'll see. But let's talk main event. Cora Jade, Zoe Stark. Wait, that wasn't the main event.
Yes, it was.
Wait, yeah, it was. Fuck. I kept thinking because of all the shit that happened at the end. I was thinking of the women at the end, and I was like, that wasn't. But you're right. Cora Jade versus Zoe Stark, Mandy Rose on commentary. This match, to me, I thought was fucking great. And the way that it ended, I rewatched like 4 times. Because the moment Cora goes for the kendo stick, which, by the way, I love that she customized a kendo stick. No one does that much. It doesn't have much. New Day did it one time. She customized that kendo stick just to be a little bitch. It was awesome. She starts backing up to find that kendo stick. The camera shots on it were so good. You see the kendo stick through the ring. You see Cora over that way. The camera comes around. Now it's the other way. Cora's going back, and you're going, the kendo stick's right there. I just saw it. I know, right? It's in your mind like, oh. And they're working you the whole time. She scoots back. You suddenly start seeing some of the crowd go, oh! As she reaches back, there's Roxanne waving the kendo stick like, what are you going to do now, bitch? I got your stick. I even like that she was trying to do the cool thing, like slap it in her hand, and she missed her hand the first time. I'm like, that's right, because it's real. You're not always doing the cool shit right the first time. And then she gets it.
That.
So good. It was right in front of her hand, and you saw her hand kind of go like, and then she got it in the second one. Fucking Zoe super kicks Cora. Cora sells fucking great. She just goes, she gets clocked, Head goes back, her eyes kind of go wide, her mouth just opens. She's like, oh, and she's like stunned, like, fuck, you got me? Zoe grabs her, does this kind of backflip spin into a knee, which had such a great crack to it.
I love that finish.
And Cora just cocks back, falls back. Her eyes still like open, mouth still open, and her hand was like limp. As Zoe's pinning her and grabbing her hand, you can just see like the limpness of Cora's hand. And I was like, Cora's like out in this cell, just being pinned, mouth open, like, oh. It was so fucking good. Then Roxanne goes in there. She's pointing the kendo stick at Cora, like, what are you gonna do now, bitch? You can't run. Fucking winds up. Cracks the turnbuckle, just boom, and you could hear it snap so loud that I even went shit when it first happened. Cora dives out of the way. As she's rolling out of the way, Roxanne comes back again, cocked back, slams it down, crack, right on the mat as Cora rolls out again. I was like, fuck, she must have been like, bitch, you better move, because I will kill you on these. This is gonna look good. Cora moves, gets out, rolls out. Roxanne's on the chasing after her with the stick in hand all the way backstage. Cuts back to the inside where Mandy, shoeless, because we know Wiki Feet is a big endorser for WWE, and a lot of their women have to go out there without at least once a show. You got to have bare feet on the show. Wiki Feet, probably one of the top sponsors for WWE as far as I can tell. They may be the new majority shareholders in WWE. I'm just not sure. Mandy slides in there, and right away, Zoe catches her, cracks her with a super kick, does the move again, and then Mandy out, just sprawled out, head back. The scary thing is that Mandy dropped the belt behind her on the super kick. When she flipped back, because the camera cut at the moment of impact, you can't tell, but she landed on the belt somehow. And I can't tell if she landed on the bottom of her neck or the top of her shoulders.
It was the back of her head. Like, it was legitimately the back of her head.
It was fucking scary because that belt didn't move.
Yeah.
There was no give to the belt because it was right on the top of the plate. And I was like, fuck, that could be bad. And I'm hoping that, because from the look of it, it really could have been that it hit right below. And when the camera cut back, because she was coming forward holding her hand, that she may not have actually hit the bottom of her neck. If that's the case, then she may just have bruising on her shoulders and she would be fine. If it was the bottom of her neck, then fuck, I hope she's okay.
Yeah.
But what a fucking exciting way to end that show. And the timing of everything was just perfect. And every strike sounded like, oh my God. I thought this was like the best ending of an NXT in years. Like, I was so into this story and into all four of these women, and whatever match concoction they get out of it, I'm here for it. Like, I'm like, yes.
Oh yeah.
The Heatwaves, someone put up a poster of the Heatwave matches. Just looking at it, I was like, oh my God, I might be more excited for this match, or for this Heatwave. I don't know if it's a takeover or a Wednesday. I can't tell.
The Wednesday.
It's a Wednesday, right? I'm more excited for this than I've been almost any takeover they've had in 2 years.
It's on Tuesday. It's an NXT episode. It's this Tuesday.
Yeah,
Tuesday and Wednesday mean the same thing to me. But yeah, I'm so fucking stoked for it. Matter of fact, that poster they made, because a lot of times they'll get the pay-per-view posters, the main event posters, or even Great American Bash, and they'll have everyone on the card sign it, and they'll sell them on the shop sometimes for like $100 or so. If they put one out for Heatwave, I might actually grab that, because that's a bunch of great matches. Zoe and Mandy, Roxanne, Cora, Braun and JD McDonough. Just off the top of my head, there's more. Tony and Santos. It's going to be sick, man. It's going to be sick.
Yeah.
What did you guys think? I just laid out how the thing happened. Obviously, I was excited about it. I loved it. I thought utter perfection in the last 20 minutes of the show. I'll start with Amanda, and then we'll go to Justin to take us home. Amanda, what did you think of this whole scenario?
That match was phenomenal. And Mandy on commentary, for me, was kind of gold. Because there was just the right amount of ego with it, along with, kind of her, analyzing of, what was going on. I loved it. Loved it.
Yeah.
And at least it gave poor Vic Joseph, like after the whole shit with the Wesley match and Trick Williams, I just kind of felt for the guy the whole night. I'm like, oh, I don't think it was hard for him to recover after that. But this match, he was back to himself because I just kind of thought, wow, yeah, this evening's been very rough for him. But I just was so impressed with like Cora Jade. Like, I mean, she's so young and so seasoned now. I mean, you have people who've been in it for years who can't sell like that, and that just, that's amazing, especially with women, because a lot of times women don't sell. And I think it's not because they're doing it on purpose, it's because they don't know how to. And I think that Cora can totally run a clinic on that, and it would be phenomenal. Roxanne's the same way too. Zoe Stark sometimes it's kind of, she sells sometimes, but not as much as she should. And I think that it got me very excited for all four of those matches, the four of them in those two matches. It's got me excited for that. Got me excited for any aftermath there's going to be, because I know this is a good quality program.
Yeah.
So
the one match I missed was Carmelo Hayes and Giovanni Vinci, but I can sort of see the poster they made for it. It's so badass.
Yeah, it looks so good.
So good.
That is
I
good.
see my heart-shaped ring light in that too. So you're welcome.
I was going to say there's a heart on there.
Yeah.
How apropos.
So Justin, what'd you think?
So yeah, main event definitely better than I expected. Like, I went into it with just like very little going into it, because I'm like, the especially with the Cora stuff, like the her and Roxanne match really has nothing, like any interest for me really. Like to me, that whole I'm sorry, that whole heel turn ruined it right off the bat for me. Like, I have zero
heel turn for sure.
Yeah, like it gave me no reason to care for it. Like, so there's one match immediately that I was just like, yeah, like the story ain't doing it for me, and I don't know how well the match is going to go for me to actually really want to like get that invested into it. So that was one right off the table. I want Zoe to take that title so bad, because I've not really been invested in Mandy Rose. I'm not crazy for Toxic Attraction, really. I legit want Zoe to take the title, but it's like, I don't believe she's going to. And my issue with the whole thing is with her and Nikita now, if it's possible, if this ends up being a call-up and they both end up on the main roster, who takes the title off of Mandy at that point? Which really sucks. They've already done that, though.
No, they didn't.
Yeah, they have.
No, they
They've
didn't.
taken the two of them have faced off before she had the name.
And Mandy never fight.
Yeah, they did before she got the name changed. They fought before.
When?
Are you sure?
Yeah, they have before.
I'm Googling it.
I don't think so. Why do I feel like
times. Literally, she was involved in the Fatal 4-Way. And they've had a couple.
Mandy Rose versus Kaylee Ray happened.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
And it's like, I think I would love it to be Zoe.
Matter of fact, it was right before the name change. It was what caused her to change her name. So even better. She lost and had to go reinvent herself entirely. Perfect to come back and redeem yourself by beating the shit out of Mandy Rose and her damn donuts and getting that title.
Like, I would love for it to be Zoe, but if it wasn't going to be Zoe, I honestly still believe it would have been Nikita. But if Nikita and Zoe both go up, then I legit don't know who takes the title. Like, I don't see it being Alba Fire. I don't see it being anybody else. The only person that came to mind was Cora, so they could try to spice up the whole Cora and Roxanne thing. Because I honestly don't believe this match that they have at Heatwave is going to be the only match they have. And it's like, I don't really think them involving the title really is going to do it like to make me want to really invest in that feud right now. Like, I feel like they've done a lot to make me kind of just take myself out of it. And it's like, I don't know. Like, I'm over Mandy and I want her to lose the title. I think it's been long enough, but I don't know. Like, if somehow by any odds Zoe wins the title, like, to me, I'm starting to feel like Mandy was a Vince, like, test, like, kind of like a Mandy it was like a Vince project. So it's like if Triple H, so if Zoe wins, I honestly feel like that'll confirm it there that Mandy and Toxic Attraction was like a Vince project.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like I just want to see the title start moving somewhere, but I don't see it happening with Zoe, and that's what really sucks. Like, I'm ready to see it move.
I
Before
could
it
see
gets
it going to
thrown out.
Zoe, and then Zoe being in the tag tournament with the NXT championship, because then you're highlighting your new champion along with a new upstart who, with all due respect, is easy on the eyes, to try and drag in some more viewership, to be like, oh, who are these two? That's their champion, and who's their partner? Like, oh, I should watch. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't be surprised if they did something like that. And I think
That would
that
be really
Toxic
nice.
Attraction works too much as a unit that I don't think that Triple H would dissolve it.
I mean, he doesn't have to dissolve it, but I'm just he doesn't have to dissolve it. But it's like, I think it's time that the Toxic Attraction, like, if it's like experiment, needs to kind of move where it needs to go
forward.
now.
Yeah.
Instead of keeping it stagnant like this. Like, it's time to take the title off Andy. You've already taken the tag titles off of Gigi and JC. Now you just got to get rid of Mandy, so her and the rest of Toxic Attraction can go up instead of keeping it in one spot. Because even with the video packages with Gigi and JC, I'm like, if it's a new thing for them, like, what else is really left for them to do in NXT at this point? Like,
yeah.
So it didn't really feel big, like, enough to be like, well, what's this really going to lead to? Like, the only thing it could really lead to is the three of them going up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I could see that. I do think I could see Cora or Roxanne holding the title. I could also see Zoe holding the title. I don't think Tiffany Stratton's too far off from being a good women's champion, because she probably needs to stay in NXT a while. So you could keep her with the championship for a while, and she's very impressive, and you put her with the right people, and they could help her. I do think that there's women there who could definitely take advantage of that on both sides. But yeah, I think I'm more than ready for Toxic Attraction to be on a bigger stage and to really liven up the women's division, and especially because we know that Triple H and Stephanie both have been massive champions for women's wrestling in WWE for so long. That I think we're going to see a lot of spicing up with the women's roster. We've already seen it a bunch with the Bayley faction, that I think that there's no reason to have such a complete unit, like you said, kind of stagnant at this point. There's too much we could do with them on the main roster.
Yes.
Anything else from either of you guys?
I feel like I think I need to watch AEW before I watch NXT this week, because I'm just going to get disappointed.
This NXT is going to be fucking banger. This Heatwave.
I know, that's why. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good point. I'm going to watch it specifically before AEW, so I can just watch AEW and puke in a bucket.
Okay.
Oh, no. I want to be, I just want to be, I knew it was going to be this so much better. I knew it.
NXT's giving us a free per-view, so come on.
Yeah, they're going in. They are going in.
They've been doing that. AEW really sucks with that. Tony Khan wants to like copy. He needs to kind of be watching NXT with that, because they have a really good formula for that. And if he really wants to make a copy, he needs to watch what Triple H is going to be doing. I have a feeling that there's going to be a lot of things that are going to be influenced by one Cody Rhodes. I have a feeling.
Yeah. Yep.
So
I hope so.
Too bad, Tony.
I hope so.
Major bad.
Any Any other final thoughts? I like that one. Definitely watch AEW before you watch NXT. Although NXT comes out a day before, it's going to be tough.
Well, see, it'll take me a day or two for it to come on Peacock, and then
Yeah, you keep lying about that. It's crazy.
I know.
It's on
I know.
USA. It's on Hulu.
I know.
It's on Peacock.
I know.
It's on
I know.
YouTube TV. It's on Hulu
Yeah.
Live. Like,
You guys may
I
or
have
may not
7
be.
platforms I can watch NXT.
I know, but I'm not connected on anything. So
You can
I
watch
can
every pay-per-view you want from any company, but with NXT, out of the question.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I don't know yet if I'm gonna be here or not, because
Okay.
that is day one of the West Coast Cup, and I know Lee. Well, wait, is Lee Moriarty in it anymore? No, Lee Moriarty was taken out, so because Chris Sabin replaced him. So I don't know if I'll go. However, I can't do 2 nights of wrestling live this week, because I don't even think I could do it period right now, because I'm just not wanting to go drive back and forth because of gas. So I'm deciding whether or not I'm going to go. So I might not go Thursday, but I'll go Friday for the finals.
All right. Or
But
you might
I
go
will
Thursday.
let you know.
If you go Thursday, then we'll try and see if
Mhm.
we get Justin, maybe his brother back. Maybe we get Shakes on here. We got people.
Yeah.
Clint might be back by then, so don't worry about it.
Yeah. But I'll let you know, but I
If
don't
are gonna
know
be, if you're gonna be here for the show, though, we could potentially even talk about doing like a watch along and talk about what we watched while we watch along it. But I don't know. We'll see what goes on.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
Either one. I think part of me is more inclined to watch the final, because I'm pretty confident that that final is going to be a banger. I think definitely
All right.
we're going to have Titus O'Neil. I don't know, not Titus O'Neil, Titus Alexander. I think probably versus Nick Wayne, maybe. So I'm hoping, and I think they'll give it to the Future franchise, and people will boo, but whatever.
All right.
Is
We'll
what it
talk
is.
about that next week. Justin, you want to tell people where they can find you and your brother ranting and raving and carrying on?
You can find us only on Twitter. You follow me at JustinTime211. Follow my brother at JeremyandTime721. You can find the podcast on a bunch of different platforms. If you have one that it's not on, let me know, and I will try my damnedest to get it on there. The whole Apple situation, I don't know what the hell I'm going to do with that one, but
we'll get you on Apple.
Any other like platform podcast platform you don't have it on, and I can see if I can get it on there, let me know, and you get the hookup.
Yep. You can find AmandaJayne at MsAmandaJayne on Twitter. I'm at Ref Marsh. Oh, what are you about to say, Amanda?
I was gonna say, if you guys think that you're cute and will snitch tag me over to Ocean Spray, don't worry. He knows I hate him. Hell, the whole world knows I hate him. But
no secret.
If you try to add me to him, I'm blocked, and he's blocked. So,
Perfect.
Just letting you know.
Perfect. I'm at Ref Marsh. We're at WTR the show, and guys, we're gonna be back on time this coming up week for episode 1, followed by a Thursday night chaser episode 1. Finally back, and hopefully everything's going to be running a lot more smoothly. May have big announcements down the line, so stay tuned. Right here in the dive bar of the IWC. Guys, that's the last call.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Hey, producer lady here. Thanks for tuning in. Continue to support us or buy us a drink by following and putting the I in subscribe on Twitch. Or subscribe and review our podcast on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to us. Cheers!
I would never have a drink with wrestling on the rocks.